times, we know how to take on the big insurance companies, and we'll fight, get you every dollar you deserve for your medical bills, lost wages, and pain and suffering.
Gordon got it done and got me $440,000.
Just call me. Get it done.
Call 888-8888.
From Founders Park in Columbia, South Carolina, it's SEC Baseball on a Friday afternoon, and today, two college baseball powers go head-to-head as number 6 South Carolina plays host to number 1 LSU in Game 2 of a 3-game set. I'm Dave Weinstein alongside the coach, Stuart Lake. This game was originally scheduled for 7 p.m., moved up to noon as part of a doubleheader. We're hoping to get both in, Stu, and the Gamecocks are hoping to keep up their momentum after last night's big win.
Oh, yeah, what an environment last night. We know they'll be filling in all day today. Really big role today. How does LSU respond? Maybe first adversity they've really had to deal with during this season.
If you missed any of last night's action, we're going to give you a recap. It was a 13-5 win for the Gamecocks. It started with Ethan Petrie in the bottom of the first, a 2-run shot. That gave South Carolina a 2-0 lead. And then in the 5th, a grand slam, and Founders Park was rocking. He would later add a sac fly, another RBI after getting hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. A season-high 8 runs batted in, now tied with LSU's Tommy White for 50 runs batted in to lead the nation. And this was billed as Skeens versus Sanders. Stu, we saw it for 3 innings, but then, of course, weather ruined that storyline.
Yeah, we got to enjoy it. All of us hated to see it, but you have to do what you do, and Lightning's in the area. But Ethan Petrie, just think 13 runs on the board last night, 8 RBIs, 2 runs scored, so he was 10 of those runs he was involved with.
4 homers for South Carolina, 2 for Petrie, 1 for Wimmer, and 1 for Brewer. Getting the start on the mound today. It's going to be the right-hander, Jack Mahoney.
Yeah, Jack, fastball guy. He's going to come out almost a reliever mentality as you'll see him attack with his fastball, which at times may hit 96, 97. But I really feel today his equalizer is going to be the changeup against this powerful left-handed hitters in this LSU lineup.
You see the numbers for Mahoney. Opponents are hitting .250 against him. Last Saturday at Mississippi State, 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, but only 1 of them were earned. A walk and 3 strikeouts and a no decision. He'll go to work on a Friday afternoon against this lineup for LSU. It'll be Dugas, Morgan, and Cruz due up here in the top of the first. The only change for LSU is in right field. Pearson is out and Kling is in, and Kling will bat 9th. Gavin Dugas at the plate, 0-1 the count.
And I'm telling you, the clock operator, no issue today with Mahoney on the mound. He comes out of the stretch. He's going to get the ball as quick as he can back from Cole Messina, and he's going to be ready to go. It's really going to be harder for these hitters to slow Mahoney down than thinking he's going to work slow.
That pitch just misses.
Yeah, that's when you say good eye, because that one looked like it was right there, and if Mahoney thought a little bit too as he kind of walked off the mound, but he's ready to go again.
Again off the mark, and the count evens at 2-2. Dugas was 0 for 3 in last night's game. And for his first hit of the series, now the count is run full.
And Jack is at, as we said in the opening, is just a really come right at you mentality, a football mindset. He was a football player in high school and a good one. He's going to challenge these guys, especially these right-handed hitters with the fastball early.
One out.
Yeah, I think we were all kind of held there, but the way he reacted must have been right off the end of the bat more than off the handle. That was an odd one.
Let's take another look.
I think he got the knob.
First I thought it hit him, but off the knob, and so 1 down. Here's Trey Morgan. He takes strike 1.
I think if Dugas had it to do over again, he might have went into a little acting right there because we were kind of all waiting to see his reaction, Mahoney included, I think. But didn't run out of the box, so it just made it a no contest on the flip over to first.
Morgan batting second, the junior from New Orleans, was 0 for 3 last night, struck out a couple of times.
Kind of BP this morning. The Gamecocks took it inside in the cages. LSU hit on the field. The ball was really carrying. I'm sure it'll change as the day gets cooler and different things, but tell you what, their BP, that ball was carrying today.
That one was lined just past the glove of Michael Braswell at second. So a one-out single for Trey Morgan. His first hit of the series.
And this was a point last night, Dave. I kept bringing it up to you. This is the first time Dylan Cruz gets to hit with a runner on. Last night, you were able to 0 for 4, or actually ended up getting a single right there at the end, so 1 for 4. But it's different when you get to hit with a runner on, just especially a guy like Trey Morgan, who you have to respect as a base runner.
Swing at the first pitch. He grounds it to third. LeCroy. That's a foul ball.
The umpire just kind of quietly from behind the plate. John Raymer called the foul ball, didn't really get emphatic with it, but he knew it had got him off the foot.
And to your point, Stu, Dugas and Morgan combined yesterday 0 for 6, so they kept base runners off the bases with Cruz at the plate. And this is the reason why. Look at those D1 ranks.
Yeah, I mean, this is an offense that even last night you never felt were out of the game until the game was over. And it's not just power, the batting average, the on-base percentage, the things that they bring to the table. And this is where Jack Mahoney, again, you're going to attack with that fastball, but you're going to have to keep these hitters off stride with your changeup and the breaking ball.
Here's the 0-2. 1-2. Cruz was 1 for 3 last night with a run scored. He extended his on-base streak to 34 games. That dates back to last season. Morgan leads off first. Here's the 1-2. That hits Cruz.
You could almost check his swing there. I kind of thought that's what we were waiting to do, but no one's asked on check swing. Thought he kind of gave in a little.
Defensive alignment for the Gamecocks, left to right in the outfield. It's Brewer, Stone, and Petrie. LeCroy's at third, Wimmer's at short, Braswell at second, Casas at first, and Cole Messina once again behind the plate. So 2 on, 1 down, and the cleanup hitter Tommy White steps in. White tied with Ethan Petrie for the nation's lead in runs batted in. RBI opportunity here. And he takes ball 1. White's a sophomore from St. Pete Beach, Florida. Transfer from NC State. High pop-up in foul territory. This is Casas. He runs out of room. Hands in the 3rd or 4th row there.
Yeah, pregame I kind of always like to walk around and hear who's saying they were getting on Casas a little bit about the foul ball that dropped last night. Coach Parker was telling him, go out and find where the wall is, please. We don't need to have those balls landing on the field against this offense. So I was thinking that as he was kind of drifting over there again. But he has been a huge part of his Gamecock defense at first base. So we kind of give him a little bit of a benefit last night.
Another pop-up, this one in fair territory. And Braswell, short right field, will make the play. 2 down.
That's one of those, even though the fly ball ends the right field, really jammed him hard in with that fastball. That's big-time bat speed to beat right there, and he did, and you can tell as White walks off frustrated too.
Not much wind today here at Founders Park. Flags are still in center field. 77-degree day. Here's Beloso. He takes strike 1.
Yeah, the early noon tip-off here feels like a Birmingham day when you're in Hoover trying to. You see all the purple and gold here for LSU too, and the garnet and black obviously predominant, but it feels like a tournament day.
Mahoney ahead of Cade Beloso, 0-2. Beloso had a nice night last night, 2 for 4, a couple of ribbies.
Again, that changeup is just an equalizer to these power bats, especially when you have the run on it that he just had on that 0-1 pitch.
It's a piece of that. Velosso's two ribbies were in the 8th inning last night, a 2-run home run. It was his 4th of the season. 0-2 the count on Beloso. Trey Morgan leads off second. Dylan Cruz leads off first. Called strike 3. Mahoney gets Beloso looking, and that'll do it for LSU in the top of the first. They'll leave 2. We'll head to the bottom of the first. From Founders Park, scoreless after Mahoney strikes out Beloso.
Hello? We're just waking up. He was born on July 2nd. Yes, just like my
Dad, he's got my nose, and he's
9 pounds and 6 ounces.
Honey, 9 pounds and 6 hours of sleep. That never happens.
Look, she's saying, hi, your big brother.
Technology changes, but why we use it stays the same. Whatever's next, Cox will be there. Cox, bringing us closer.
Spicy chicken fries with heat. Appetizer mini meal, a spicy treat. Eat them anytime cause you're royalty. The box fits a sauce that's pretty neat. BK, have it your way.
And welcome back to Founders Park. We're getting ready for the bottom of the first. Game 2 of the series, game 1 of this doubleheader scheduled for today. We're hoping to get both in. Rain scheduled in the forecast for later today. Taking the mound for LSU, it's the junior right-hander, Ty Floyd.
Yeah, you start looking through the scouting report on Ty Floyd, it jumps out to you immediately. Fastball is going to be 92, 96, going to be up to 98 at time, but he's a 4-pitch guy. So you're going to see a true starter mentality in the sense of he's going to mix in the curveball and the slider. Numbers that kind of jump out you a little bit. He's only given up 18 hits on the year through 31 1/3, but he has hit 6 guys. So he's going to come inside even more than Skeens did last night, and obviously later on in the game. 36 punch outs though, so he's got the pitches to do it. But I think early on we're going to see a mix here of the breaking ball between the curveball and the slider to just try to get these Gamecocks off strike, because they proved last night the fastball is not going to do it.
Here's the batting order for South Carolina. Wimmer, Casas, and Petrie due up here in the bottom of the first. No changes from last night's lineup. Here's Braylon Wimmer. Wimmer reached 5 times last night. He homered in the 3rd, had an RBI later in the 7th on a bases-loaded walk. Walked twice, singled, homered, and reached on an error. It's quite a catalyst for South Carolina. Drives us out to right field. And Kling is there. 1 down.
Yeah, his power was in the middle of the game last night, but last weekend 2 leadoff home runs on the first pitch. I don't remember the last time you've seen that back-to-back game. So I think we're going to start tendency to see a few more breaking balls first pitch to Braylon Wimmer.
So Will McGillis homer in the leadoff spot earlier this season as well. Casas is hit. So a 1-out base runner for South Carolina here in the bottom of the first. Of course, the initial diagnosis for McGillis, that broken arm, broken bone in his forearm. He was supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks, but here everything's going well for him.
It is. I get to see Will a lot. I work over in the Gamecock Club. He's an intern over there, so he gives me my baseball fix every day, and I keep asking about the arm. It's changed cast. He's hoping to be available as you get toward the end of the season, especially in the postseason.
How deep will this lineup be when you add another double-digit home run guy in McGillis?
No question. Well, what Will had brought to this lineup, and hopefully he'll get to bring back again, he had hit all through the lineup. He had led off, as you said, he had homered in it. He had hit down in the 8 hole where he was still getting double-digit home runs. So he's just a guy, and he's a guy you pull for. Just a really, really good kid and a guy that you hope to get healthy.
Great kid at the plate, and Ethan Petrie. 1-1 the count on the talented freshman from Land O'Lakes, Florida. On the Golden Spikes Award midseason watch list.
So Floyd had already hit 6 guys coming in, saw him get Casas early. It'll be interesting as we saw the changeup there, even though the fastball just came in at 97. I think the whole league, the whole country's trying. How do you get Petrie out? I haven't figured it out, and I don't think anybody else has either. So you're trying to maybe see all 4 pitches here and then at bat to him.
3-1 the count on Petrie. The SEC Freshman of the Week once again, 3 straight weeks earning that award.
We were talking last night after the game, some of us, he didn't start the first 2 games of the year. When you think back, which is amazing, only had 2 hits in the preseason leading into that.
He earned his first start in the finale of the opening series against UMass Lowell, and he DH'd. Got a bomb to left, and it's been the lineup ever since.
Oh, it's, as we were saying last night, I know he's still a freshman, but he's past that. You can kind of scratch that off when you're looking at that lineup. He has shown a lot of veteran at-bats, and as you've noted, already leading the country or tied leading the country in RBIs.
You saw the defensive alignment for LSU. Morgan, Cruz, and Kling left to right in the outfield. White at third, Thompson at short, Dugas at second, Jones at first, and Neal behind the plate once again. You want to know the count on the cleanup hitter, Cole Messina. 2-0.
Seeing that changeup. Again, we talked momentum in our opening. LSU had a chance. They had their guys come to the plate in the first, couldn't get a run in. Big opportunity for South Carolina to kind of put that doubt back in that LSU dugout.
An opportunity for Cole Messina to put last night's game behind him. It was a tough one for Cole. Was 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts.
I was thinking we might have a check swing there, but no one is. Derek Malik said at first base no. So. I think we got our first warning of the game here on that check swing. Coach Johnson is coming out to kind of see what he's getting it from the home plate umpire. But
Joe Johnson in his 2nd season as the head coach for LSU. Having a discussion with home plate umpire John Brammer.
And John's trying to be patient there. He knows frustration when you come out of a game like that, but you can't stay out and argue. That's still a ball strike argument. So you just can't take too much from it right there. You gave him the warning, and they're not looking for ejections, believe me. They're trying to let him get back in that dugout.
So 3-0 the count on Messina. Runners at first and second, 1 down. And he takes strike 1.
Could have been a green light situation right there. The reason I think it wasn't is the inconsistency so far. Floyd 2 throw strikes. And you got Brewer coming up, who's been as hot as anyone on this Gamecock team.
Fouls that one back. Now the count has run full.
And I've noticed too with Floyd, when he's been up to 97, the 97 has not been close to the zone. So when he's kind of dialed it back down, 92, 93 has been his fastballs in the strike zone, and they're getting some swings off on those.
Cena got a piece of that. Game 1, runners in scoring position. They were 1 for 9. That's a surprising number. Of course, the grand slam.
Paxton
3
Kling
walks with the bases loaded. Hit by
Sergeant.
pitch. That's driven out to left. Morgan giving chase, and he'll make the play on the warning track. Long, loud out from Cole Messina, 2 down.
Kind of goes on a great play by Trey, by the way, and left. But Gavin Cass, great job of base running. With 1 out right there, you're not looking to tag at all. There's no tag involved. He would have scored easily as he had read that ball, looked like it was in the gap, then hustle back. So those little things pay off later on. Just, man, what a play by Trey Morgan, who I still think may be the best first baseman in the country. I've said that to you, I know, 10 times already. But that proves he's a really good left fielder.
And he's versatile, and having him in the outfield allows them to keep Beloso and Jared Jones in the lineup.
Yeah, no doubt.
2 important bats. Here's Dylan Brewer in the 5 spot once again. 1-0 the count on Brewer.
You can see Floyd believes in his changeup. I mean, that's probably the 4th one we've seen in this bottom of the 1st inning. again, the fastball's there. It's 97, but it just hasn't been in the zone at 97. He's had to take some off, and you're scared right now if you're LSU to throw too many fastballs.
That's ripped to first. Nice play made by Jones. He takes care of it, and that'll do it for the Gamecocks. In the bottom of the first, they'll leave 2. And we'll head to the top of the second from Founders Park, scoreless between LSU and South Carolina. Six, 7, and 8 due up here in the top of the second for LSU, starting with Jared Jones. He takes strike 1. Jones is a freshman from Marietta, Georgia.
I think Jared want to remind me he's a pretty good first baseman too. That was a nice play to in the inning, and he was ready on the fastball there, 91.
Jones was 1 for 4 last night, and a run scored. 356 hitter, 9 homers, 31 driven in. Very good numbers for the freshman.
Yeah, and Petrie is he's run away with what we think of a freshman, but this guy's a guy. 9 home runs. We talked a lot to see him move a guy like they did to Trey Morgan to get this bat in the lineup tells you what they think of this, and his numbers indicate it. 356, 9 home runs. I think only Petrie can make him feel like, well, maybe I'm not the best freshman.
2-2 is fouled off. Petrie, of course, is SEC Freshman of the Week for the 3rd straight week. Jones was SEC Co-Freshman of the Week back on March 13th after back-to-back multi-homer games against Samford. Better SoCon programs. He drove in 11 in that series. He homered in the midweek this week against Nichols. Stays alive.
He's a guy, and you're going to see Mahoney come at him with the fastball, even though he's a really good hitter. Just because that leadoff guy, you want to make him earn his way on. May go slider here after another pitch or two, but right now, kind of see what he can do with this fastball. We have had some of the weirdest check swing, foul ball type things so far. I'm not really sure. Oh, he's getting a little rosin. I didn't know if he had gotten hit.
A couple times we weren't sure if it was a hit batter or a foul ball.
Yeah, both of these pitchers are going to come inside, which you don't see a lot in the college game, especially with the home run numbers up. They're both going to pitch inside today.
Called strike 3. On the 8th pitch of the at-bat, Mahoney gets Jones, his 2nd strikeout. 1 down here in the top of the 2nd.
It's kind of the veteran pitcher against the freshman hitter right there. Just came right back after that hard fastball in with that slider 83 right on the knees.
That'll bring up Jordan Thompson. Thompson's a junior from Chula Vista, California. He and Dylan Cruz, the only Tigers to start every game this season. Thompson had a good night last night, was 2 for 4, an RBI single in the 2nd, a 2-run homer in the 7th.
Yeah, he's that hitter at the bottom of your lineup that you, and I know Coach Parker knows, the South Carolina pitching coach. He could easily be hitting anywhere else in that lineup. Just some really good hitters in this LSU lineup. So they're not giving him that fastball just down to see what he's got.
Contact-oriented guy, but he has some power. Three homers this season, one, of course, coming last night. The other 2 were both in the non-conference against Western Michigan and Central Arkansas. The 2-2 is grounded foul.
So defensively, you just love playing behind a guy like Jack Mahoney. I kind of watch. He gets the ball. The clock doesn't even get started, the 20-second kind of pitch clock. He's already ready to go. He's waiting on the umpire to give him the let's go sign. As soon as he does, He's throwing within 3 to 4 seconds every time. Defensively, you love that. It gives you time to catch your breath, but be ready to go.
He is the lowest ERA of any of the starters for South Carolina this season, 2.72 coming into today's game. That pitch is high, and the count is run full on Jordan Thompson.
And this is one of those fun weekends. We've got some great scouts in the Southeast, but all their cross-checkers are here. And we're seeing scouting directors here this weekend to see the teams, both teams, arms and hitters.
Thompson putting a tough at-bat on Mahoney. He's about to throw his 9th pitch to Jordan Thompson.
And even though Mahoney last year didn't redshirt, had Tommy John, came back out of it.
High fly ball. Short left field. It'll be the shortstop Wimmer who makes the play. 2 down.
Really good at bat right there. I thought 4 or 5 balls in it, and they're getting their swings off. Mahoney just right now, that slider and the changeup, just enough of them are keeping you from maybe being all in on your swing. But they're really battling.
Here's Brady Neal. Neal's a freshman from Tallahassee, Florida. Started behind the plate last night, was 0 for 3.
Yeah, both catchers back today. You never know when you have that late game and an early game. Obviously a doubleheader. We'll see if we get the third one. But both catchers right back in there today.
That one is ripped foul. They have the shift on for Neal. 3 Gamecocks on the right side of the infield. 1-2 the count. 2 down here in the top of the second. Called strike 3. Mahoney gets Neal. 3 strikeouts so far today for Jack Mahoney, and that'll do it for LSU. In the top of the second, a 1-2-3 inning for Mahoney. We'll head to the bottom of the second from Columbia, scoreless between LSU and South Carolina. Sir Big Spur's getting treated better than we are, Stu. He's got a fan.
I know. I've been asking for a fan, and now I know where it's at. But you know what? When your name starts with Sir, you get fans. I'm not going to go down and argue with him.
6, 7, and 8 here in the bottom of the second for the Gamecocks, starting with Talmadge Lecroy. Lecroy hitting .294, 2 homers, and 23 driven in. Multi-hit game last night.
Sir Big Spur distracted me a little bit, but another first pitch ball. So Ty Floyd so far through this game, no first pitch strikes. So the Gamecock hitters have had some good counts to try to start creating some offense on. And right here again, a 3-1 count for a really good hitter in Lecroy.
Through 18 pitches in the bottom of the first, only 8 for strikes. And he walks Lecroy to lead things off here in the bottom of the second. Second walk issued by Ty Floyd.
And again, just noticing that was 91. He's having to try to take something off those fastballs to get them in the zone. They're still missing. So it's going to set up some pitches that these Gamecock hitters are going to get swings off when you're in that 91, 93 range.
Brings up Carson Hornung. He takes outside. Hornung 0 for 2 with a couple of walks in last night's game. Sophomore from Overland Park, Kansas. Now a 12-game on-base streak. Was dealing with a small foot fracture after fouling a ball off his foot in a midweek game at the Citadel.
Yeah, and that's what you see Floyd. I'm really surprised because you know you got scouting report on that to really kind of stick that ball in on that hitter to see if he's a little timid to get it off. Followed 94 mile an hour with an 82 changeup that's a tough combination for any hitter.
It was a good looking pitch, and he gets ahead of Hornung 1-2. Count evens at 2-2.
LeCroy getting a good lead, not a runner really, hasn't even tried a stolen base on the year, but really getting a good lead. If you see one of those sliders in the dirt, he's giving himself a chance to advance with his secondary.
Count has run full. Love to know what percentage of Hornung's at-bats go full, because this guy always seems to just take pitch after pitch and take quality at-bats. He knows how to battle with 2 strikes.
Yeah, just a guy, success, no success, we've seen him do both, just stays in his at-bats. This one with a chance down the line and drifts out. Trey was right on. You'll notice with 2 strikes, LSU's outfield, they cheat to the line on that offside. They move in, so it's going to be a hard team to kind of drop one in on the corner. But now in right field, the pull side, right fielder very deep in the gap.
It's already the 4th 3-ball count for Floyd. 3-2. The pitch. It's ball 4. So back-to-back walks here in the bottom of the 2nd. LeCroy and Hornung are aboard. South Carolina, they know how to get on base, leading the SEC in walks and being hit by pitches. And on-base percentage as a team, .438, Stu.
Yeah, I mean, they just do it with last night with the 8 walks and 4 hit by pitches. Today, it's just they're expanding pitch counts. And we saw last night LSU, we know they got a lot more arms in that bullpen they want to go to, but, they don't even have anyone in the bullpen. So, I mean, this is one of those where he's going out right now and saying, hey, got to get back in the zone for us. Make them get their hits. Make them swing the bat. I honestly think a bunt situation here, but with Stone on deck, I'm not really sure. So I think you may let Brazel get his swing off early in this game, 2nd inning. He's shown in situations where he's been able to get the extra base hit with the double and different things at Georgia and different places. So I think we'll see him swinging.
Pops up the bunt attempt, and it's taken care of by Floyd, 1 down.
It's one of those, as a hitter, I think he was sacrificing there, but he got the bat out late, almost like a kind of in-between bunt for a hit and a sack, and it just, that grip's so tight, that ball's going to bounce off the barrel on you on that bunt. A huge break right there for Floyd to just kind of catch his breath. 1 pitch, 1 out when hadn't been able to get that out this inning.
So here's Evan Stone, 2 on, 1 down. He takes the outside. Stone was 0 for 4 with a run scored last night. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th and scored on the grand slam from Ethan Petrie. 9 ribbies on the season for Stone. RBI situation here, 1st and 2nd, 1 down. Count evens at 1-1.
Probably one of Floyd's upper velocity fastballs that he got in to the zone. That was the first time today that 94, 95 mile an hour fastball was down in the zone. It had been missing up and away. Sometimes it just takes, you do everything to get loose, but you don't really get loose sometimes till you really get in that mound and get your, momentum, figure out the game mound. Now he's starting to really reach out, and you see those 94s and 95 be in the strike zone.
He's looking for his first strike out of the game. 1-2 the count on Stone. Fights that off the other way. Evan was hit by a pitch in last night's game that extended his on-base streak to 9. Multi-hit game in the midweek against UNC. Was 2 for 3 with an RBI double on Tuesday.
I've been fortunate enough to see Evan Stone since he was coming to camps and then playing at Dutch Fork High School right here in Columbia. But I've joked with him before, stop worrying about your hits at the end of the day. How many pitches did you get at the end of the day? Because he's just one of those guys that, just like right now, you have to throw 5, 6, maybe even 7 pitches to get him out. And those add up, especially when you're trying to keep your bullpen from being involved in this game till later on.
He's worked the count full. 3-2 the count on Stone. LeCroy leads off second, Hornung leads off first. And it's ball four. Third walk of the inning issued by Floyd, his fourth overall. And the bases are loaded for the Gamecocks with one out, and Braylon Wimmer due up.
LSU came in leading the SEC in fielding percentage, third in the country in fielding percentage. And Dave, you know what you can do when the pitcher's throwing balls? Nothing. That's what's so frustrating to them defensively is, and I know their pitching coach, Wes Johnson, he's one of the best in the country. There's just nothing you can do when the pitcher doesn't throw strikes. And the Gamecocks have been so good at laying off some of these close ones.
Braylon Wimmer flew out to right field his first time up. He's 0 for 1. 336 hitter, 9 home runs, and 30 runs batted in. Hit a grand slam the opening weekend of the season against UMass Lowell. Homer twice in that series. 2-1 the count on Wimmer.
And again, you put yourself in these counts as a hitter, you just feel like I'm ready. I don't know if it's a fastball count per se with Wimmer, but you don't want to be 3-1 either. So you just, as a hitter, ready to jump right here on it if it's good.
It's fouled back, so the count evens at 2-2. Braylon's numbers, bases loaded, excellent.
Yeah, he's just all season long. Braylon has taken advantage of hitter advantage counts and hitter advantage situations, because you know right now, bases loaded, you can't throw that hard breaking ball in the dirt. As good as Neal is, you just don't want to give up a run on that. So he knows he's going to get something most likely in the strike zone. And with Stone on first, a ball in the gap right here could clear him.
Count has run full once again. 26 pitches now this inning for Ty Floyd. The 6th 3-ball count of the game. LeCroy leads off third, Hornung off second, and Stone off first. And Floyd strikes out Wimmer. That's a huge strikeout for Ty Floyd, his first. 2 down in the inning.
You just saw what Ty Floyd's about. He just threw maybe his second or third changeup maybe of the game, and to throw it in the 6th, as we just said, he's in that 3-2 count again for the 6th time. To throw an 81-mile-an-hour changeup, you hate to strike out in that situation, but you almost got to just tip your hat that he just threw that right in the strike zone. We got our first time strike on the hitter that I've personally seen this season. He wouldn't get ready, as they call it. The umpire has to deem that you're ready for the pitch, and he didn't deem that way. So it's 0-1. How about that? The ball never lies sometimes, does it?
Casas gets hit. LeCroy will come in to score, and South Carolina takes a 1-0 lead. Give Casas an RBI on the hit by pitch. Second time he's been hit today.
We got time as a huge group of LSU pitchers and catchers make their way to the bullpen. Dave, had you seen the strike called on time? That was my first time this season.
I think that was the first.
From on a hitter.
I've seen quite a few balls called on pitchers.
Yeah. That's my first on a hitter.
Well, guess who's up with the bases loaded? It's Ethan Petrie. Tied for the team lead in homers with 15. Tied for the nation's lead in runs batted in with 50. 2 home runs in last night's game, a 2-run shot and a grand slam. Bases loaded, 2 down. 1-1 the count on Petrie.
Yeah, I was going to make a little joke before Cassis got hit. The first pitch strike had been elusive for Floyd, and he gets it on the umpire call and then hits the guy on the very next pitch. So.
How about that? Petrie gets hit. Floyd hits back-to-back Gamecocks with the bases loaded. Hornung comes in to score, and South Carolina takes a 2-0 lead.
The free passes at any level, whether you're Little League, high school, college, it doesn't matter how good you are when you just keep putting these situations on yourself. And you kind of look through this inning, what is that now? 3 walks, 2 hit by pitches that have both led to RBIs. Nebraska will pop out on the bunt, and then the great changeup on that pitch to Wimmer. And you're trying to get more LSU players in the bullpen, so the umpire's having to wait.
South Carolina leads 2-0. They still don't have a hit. Strike one to Cole Messina. Floyd, coming into the start, had only walked 10 batters in 31 1/3 innings. Walked just 1 last Friday against Tennessee. With 5 innings, earned the win. Very good start the week before against Arkansas, giving up just 1 earned run in 6 1/3. Earned the win in that one as well.
The hit by pitch is a 6. I said in the opening, jumped out to me as I was doing the scouting report.
Going the other way, and this one will head towards the corner. Stone scores, Casas scores. Here comes Petrie. He will be out at home, but Cole Messina drives in 2 on the 2-run double. And it's a 4-run inning for the South Carolina Gamecocks here in the bottom of the 2nd. We'll head to the top of the 3rd. From Columbia, South Carolina leads LSU 4-0.
Hello? We're just waking up. He was born on July 2nd. Yes, just like my
Dad, he's got my nose, and he's
9 pounds and 6 ounces.
Honey, 9 pounds and 6 hours of sleep. That never happens.
Look, she's saying hi to your big brother.
Technology changes, but why we use it stays the same. Whatever's next, Cox will be there. Cox, bringing us closer.
The return of the cheesy BK Melts Trio. Bacon, spicy, classic my heroes. In-laws in town, it's been a long day. Can't get me down, I got it my way.
BK, have it your way.
Getting ready for the top of the 3rd here at Founders Park. South Carolina leads LSU 4-0. 4 runs on 1 hit, Stu, for the Gamecocks.
Amazing inning when we think of what Floyd had done coming in. We had 36 punch outs, had 10 walks, which was a little bit high. His 6 hit by pitches, but we didn't see that inning coming where we were going to get that many free bases.
Deep drive off the bat of Kling. Stone is there, and he makes the play, 1 down.
And he gave it to Messina, got up there, got himself in a 2-strike type situation again, drove the ball the other way, and just a good relay by LSU to get that ball in, cut down Petrie at home to kind of run off the field feeling okay about yourself, because you were kind of getting to that point again with, man, what have we run into here kind of mindset as we're having a, not really sure what we were having, a little hitters meeting, so that becomes an official timeout, so you only get 3 of those.
Coach Johnson giving some instruction to Gavin Dugas. Johnson advanced LSU to the first round of the Hattiesburg Regional, the final round of the Hattiesburg Regional last season. His first as the Tigers head coach. So we're looking to go a lot further this season, the #1 team in the country, and he's taken Arizona to the College World Series a couple of times, to the finals in his first season out in Tucson.
Yeah, you had mentioned Will McGillis earlier, so when I saw him yesterday, he goes, hey, sneak in the fact that Southern Miss ended their season last year. I said, well, how do you know? I forget he had transferred over from Southern Miss because I hadn't kept up. But I think Jay Johnson's one of the best coaches in the country, and obviously proven it at LSU. And in our time yesterday, really one of my first times getting to talk to him. Again, I'll say I just really respected how you can tell he's enjoying being a part of this conference, and that LSU history is everywhere you turn when you go into Baton Rouge. And I feel like he's a guy that gets it and is just going to continue to get the talent in there that they have now and just keep building from there.
We talk about Southern Miss knocking them out. And Will McGillis was a big reason why. He was all-regional team member. In fact, he earned that honor the last 2 seasons. 295 hitter in 13 NCAA tournament games, so he brings great postseason experience to South Carolina. First walk issued by Mahoney. A 1-out base runner for the Tigers here in the top of the 3rd as Dugas will reach.
Yeah, they both wanted that, Messina and Mahoney. A little bit in. But again, LSU, this potent offense that we've talked about and we really haven't seen yet, it's also like South Carolina based on getting those free bases from walks or hit by pitches, which South Carolina's really minimized up to this point.
Here's Trey Morgan. Swings through the first pitch. Morgan has the 1 hit for LSU. He singled in the top of the 1st. 327 hitter, a couple of homers, and 23 driven in.
Well, that changeup, what an equalizer. Trey Morgan, you're in there, you're ready to get some energy going for your dugout, and you get an 83 and an 84-mile-an-hour changeup, both of them in the strike zone. Now as a hitter, you start to think, okay, I want to hit fastball, but I'm going to have to protect this changeup. And that's how they've got him looking on 3 strikes.
Mahoney strikes out Morgan. 4th strikeout for Jack Mahoney. 2 down. Morgan, not easy player to strike out, only 11 strikeouts on the season. Mahoney gets him.
We were thinking like that's his 4th strikeout, or excuse me, 3rd strikeout in this series. 2 of which last night were looking, that one swinging. You don't see that a lot with Trey Morgan.
You know, only 9 coming in, he now is 12. Struggling against Gamecock pitching. Here's Dylan Cruz. He doesn't struggle against anyone. 525 hitter, 9 homers, and 35 driven in. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. 1-1 the count.
Yeah, you won't see the change. Obviously, you can against a righty. You just won't see it a lot. But that breaking ball right there, kind of a slider, more of a slurve, just keeps you a little off balance. 83 miles an hour. Now you kind of go back hard with the fastball if you want to, and a little up. I like it. Back-to-back sliders. That time just not even in the zone where he could have a chance to swing.
Dylan Cruz projected to be the #1 pick in the MLB draft this season. A true 5-tool player, runs well, hits for power, average, strong arm, defends at a high level. Does everything and does everything well. Consensus first-team All-American last season. He was SEC Co-Player of the Year.
Might be a count. You start, Gavin Dugas says no stolen base attempts on the year, but you kind of want to at least get moving here a little bit if you're LSU.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Mahoney. He's got 5 here in the top of the 3rd. He gets Morgan, he gets Cruz. We'll head to the bottom of the 3rd. From Columbia, the Gamecocks lead the Tigers 4-0. Wind today, Stu. Flags are still, they were pretty still last night as well. Home runs that South Carolina hit, they weren't wind aided.
No, they certainly weren't. I was trying to think, the Brewer home run at the end, you and I joked after the game, he kind of sold it on us, and it did get over the fence. That might have been the only one that wasn't like, okay, that's a home run. Every other ball that was hit last night for both teams were no doubters when they came off the bat.
I thought that one was a moonshot off the bat from Brewer. The way it came off and the way he reacted, he knew right away.
Oh, yeah,
and then it ended up being a little closer than we thought.
Yeah, it got us at the end, but there's no doubt that hit, as a hitter, you know when you get that one, and he knew certainly.
Brewer grounded out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. It was a nice play made at first by Jared Jones. High hop.
Yeah, got him out of an inning right there with runners on and runners moving, obviously, with 2 outs. That would have certainly got 1 run in.
High fly ball, left field. Morgan camps under it, and he makes the play. One down here in the bottom of the third.
Kind of the first pitch strike has been elusive to Floyd a lot, but it's the second time he got the leadoff guy because he got Wimmer to lead off in the very first at bat with left 9. It seemed like the LeCroy walk is what kind of started that last inning.
Shot of Coach Kingston in his 6th season. Super Regionals in his first year in 2018, the Regionals in 2021. Go even further this season. It's a terrific team. Hitting, pitching, Stu, they really have it all.
Yeah, and when you're in the SEC, you just won't count your wins. You know if you can get to 15, you just feel like with 15 you've got a chance to be in a regional. It's proven. I think the only one that hadn't may have been our 99 Gamecock team that won the East with 15, still didn't make a regional. But I think since the new format, every SEC team that's had 15 wins makes a regional. So you're always building towards that. This fly ball to right, kind of settles in for LeCroy. It feels like Floyd's kind of settling in a little bit too as he gets going. But you look, believe me, you look at a score when that box score comes and you see 28-3, you go, holy cow. We right now, over halfway through our season, we've already got 28 wins. Now you start to think, what do we got to do to get home field advantage?
I was going to say, it's not about making a regional now, it's about hosting.
Yeah, that becomes your goal now. The RPI's there, the wins are there. And the great thing about this league is your RPI is going to always be there as you play the teams you play.
Morgan and White gave it a look, but it's out of play. Home on the count on Carson Hornung, who scored a run his first time up.
And it's certainly been proven through the history, especially as that format changed again. I said 99. You want to play at home. South Carolina did it the hard way in 2010. Have to go down and win that just historical super regional at Coastal. Those are hard to do. We went on the road. I was with Coach Kingston in 18. You go into Arkansas and you get to game 3, but they still have that advantage feeling to you with all their crowds. So you want to play at home.
Great Founders Park this season, undefeated. 2-2 the count on Hornung.
And you see it with Floyd. A few first pitch strikes this inning, got him on the strike 3 right there.
Coach Kingston's going to come out and protest this one. It's the second strikeout for Ty Floyd. Coach Kingston not too happy. Floyd gets Hornung. He might have held up. Well, that'll do it for the Gamecocks here in the bottom of the third. A 1-2 inning for Floyd. We'll head to the top of the fourth from Columbia. Gamecocks lead the Tigers 4-0. Just about ready for the top of the fourth here at Founders Park. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Tigers against Jack Mahoney, who was throwing 58 pitches. Swing at the first pitch. It's a deep drive off the bat of Tommy White to right, and this one is gone. A home run for White, his 11th of the season. LSU's on the board. They trail 4-1.
That's their third home run of the series, and they've kind of all just been no doubters. I mean, you can see where that power comes with them, but we were talking about it right before we came back. Mahoney's still out there doing a great job, but Gamecock bullpen already made its way into position out there. Just pitch count, like through the last 2 starts, have jumped up on him a little bit. So, and ball thrown back on a little Wrigley Field like out of our right field Gamecock fans.
It's a souvenir from Tommy Tanks. It's not out and right. Here's Cade Beloso. He takes strike 1.
And you and I, we both hope we get these 2 games in because we want to watch these 2 teams compete. You know, at some point you feel in this weekend this LSU offense is going to be explosive. What the Gamecock pitchers have done such a good job so far is, again, solo home run.
Right.
Where LSU pitching has created so many difficult situations for themselves with the walks and the hit by pitches. Both teams playing great defense through these games.
One walk issued by Mahoney so far. That was to Gavin Dugas in the top of the third. 0-2 the count on Cade Beloso, who struck out his first time up. Fifth-year player from New Orleans. Ground ball to the right side. That's Lee Croy on the shift, and he makes the play. One down.
All right, now you got to help me on scoring. Is that still a 4-3? It's a 5-3.
It's a 5-3.
That'll throw me off.
Third baseman
the
making the play, but on the right side. Yeah.
We started out, Coach Tolman, who's here this weekend when we were all at South Carolina, kept spray charts. That was our big thing. So it would really help you to have those now, because you look at that 5-3 later on, you're thinking maybe shot a ball that way, but no. Don't check your swing today, Dave. Every one of them's a strike.
It's strike one to Jared Jones, who struck out his first time up. Struck out looking. He's in the hole 0-2. I believe 4 of Mahoney's 5 strikeouts have been looking so far today.
Yeah, that's certainly a sign of how you're keeping the hitters guessing when your strikeouts are coming in the backward version.
Jones hit a 2-run double on opening day against Western Michigan for his first collegiate hit. A talented freshman from Marietta, Georgia. Well, goes the other way on the excuse me swing, and he'll get the second hit of the game for LSU. Check that third hit of the game. A 1-out single here in the top of the fourth.
Yeah, no way to defend those.
And take a look at the career timeline for Jack Mahoney, who was outstanding in 2021. 1.62 ERA. Had that injury. There's a deep blast off the bat of Jordan Thompson. No doubt about this one. Thompson homers for the second straight day. Add 2 more for LSU. They're within 1.
Yeah, and they've just kind of almost changed their approach. They've been aggressive throughout the series, but they have really jumped on the first pitch fastball in these counts. And I don't know if we gave enough credit to Tommy White. I kind of went back and looked at where his home run landed to right field, but that one right there is either one of Jordan Thompson's have been wall scrapers either.
4th homer of the season for Thompson. LSU right back in this game.
Yeah, you know with that offense, they're going to jump back in it, and it's just one of those cases, you know, second time through, you're starting to really feel a little more comfortable with what you're doing. And this, again, bottom of the lineup doesn't mean a thing to this LSU lineup. These guys are just as powerful as they are at the top.
58 home runs on the season now for the LSU Tigers. And Brady Neal has 3 of them. 1-0 the count on Neal. 2-0.
The big thing, Mahoney still, I mean, he's throwing strikes. It's not a case that he's lost it, that type thing. They have just hitting some good pitches on the 2 home runs this inning.
He's falling behind Neal 3-0. Bats have come alive this inning for LSU. Home run for White, a single for Jones, a home run for Thompson. Now a walk for Brady Neal.
He might get us a visit there, Dave.
Second walk issued by Jack Mahoney. Three zeros put up by Mahoney, and now he's run into some trouble here in the top of the fourth. Justin Parker to the mound to have a chat with his right-hander.
Yeah, and this is one of those visits again. Your bullpen's starting to toss a little bit, but hey, Jack, this is your game. That's what he's telling him right now. Let's settle back in. You don't come into a series thinking you're going to shut LSU down. You were able to last night, but now let's just regroup. What we can't do is fall into the extra bases and the walks and those type things.
It's Chris Veach warming in the pen for South Carolina. Mahoney, I talked about his last outing, went 5 innings, at Mississippi State. His best SEC outing so far was at Georgia, 6 innings, just 1 run, 1 walk, and 6 Ks, and got the win. For the performance he had in his return to the mound against UMass Lowell in the opening series, struck out 9, gave up no runs in 5 2/3, letting everyone know, I'm back.
Oh yeah, that was a cool moment for him, and we all know what these guys go through after surgery. You forget them a little bit, you know, but I'm telling you, it's incredible. I'm not really sure what we have here. I'm almost curious if he's come out on how quick are we gonna let him work with the hitter?
Not sure what that discussion was about between Jay Johnson and John Brammer.
Me either. I mean, I would give it to John Brammer. He has allowed both coaches to. And Coach Kingston came out last inning between and he lets them talk. He's not a guy that's avoiding the conversation, but not sure on that one either.
Kling fouls that back. He's behind 0-2.
The best I could come up with is once he's putting ball in play, Mahoney's throwing so quick that the hitters occasionally just have not been ready in the pitches being delivered. So I think that might have been a little bit of discussion.
Neal leads off first. The 0-2 just misses off the outside corner. 1-2.
Yeah, Mahoney, who's not really usually show body language, he really wanted that one. You could just visibly see it, and that was it. And he's doing it again. He's come out again to argue.
Dan doesn't get the call, and the count evens at 2-2.
I'm trying to sneak over a vision to see what he is saying. All I can think is how quick Mahoney's working, but I mean, it's the 4th inning.
Johnson back out there again. He's fouled off by Kling.
Maybe is he saying he's set like a balk? I'm not really sure. I'm kind of guessing, to be honest with you. I see him looking over the first base umpire more than the home plate umpire. Remember, the LSU bench has already been warned from the check swing early in the game, so you can only say so many things.
And that one will miss. So the count is run full on Paxton Kling. Mahoney was ahead 0-2. 3 straight borderline calls do not go his way.
You feel like whatever Coach Johnson is arguing has kind of allowed some close pitches to go his way. But he's been out of the dugout 5 or 6 feet trying to get his point across.
Neal stays close at first. He does not have a steal this season. 1 down here in the top of the 4th. 3 already in for LSU. And a check on Neal. Send the catcher on a 3-2 count.
You know, they really are not a running team. I don't see that being what you do when you got top of your order, the 2 guys on deck, but we're not really sure still what he's arguing with. There's something going on that they keep doing.
He fights that one off.
Mahoney must kind of be thinking like you are, Dave, in a sense. He's thrown over more on the runner than anybody that's been on base today. That's also a tip sometimes to you as a coach. He's getting a little tired when he doesn't feel good about that grip, and he'll throw over the first and kind of slow it down for himself.
8th pitch of the at-bat coming. Got him. Mahoney strikes out Kling. 6 strikeouts for Jack Mahoney. 2 down here in the top of the 4th.
I was kind of thinking that might be it for Mahoney, going his 3rd time through here with Dugas, but just not sure if the bullpen's quite ready yet with Veach.
Leadoff hitter Dugas steps in. 0 for 1, he grounded out in the 1st, he walked in the 3rd. And he takes strike 1.
I know we said it last night, but what a cool story Coach Johnson was telling us in the fall when Dugas was just swinging it. He said some really bad pitches. I just said, hey, go get your eyes checked. And found it out he did need it. He got surgery of his eyes and just come back. And, I mean, here you are. You're in the leadoff role for you and a veteran guy that he made clear to you and I we're not where we are without him.
A 5-year player was hampered by a thumb injury much of last season. But he was the SEC's RPI leader in 2021 with 66. Third in the league with 19 homers that season as well. His batting average has improved each season in Baton Rouge. Here's the 1-2. Up high, 2-2.
Yeah, I keep looking. I don't think Neal has any intent of running. He puts those sliding mitts on, though. You think a guy may take off on you, so keep kind of paying attention.
26 pitches this inning for Jack Mahoney. Now the count has run full on Dugas.
Yeah, with the urgency that Veach is throwing with in that bullpen, I think we're kind of seeing the last few pitches here maybe for Jack.
With 2 outs, Neal will be going from first. And Mahoney strikes out Dugas. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jack Mahoney. He has 7, and that'll do it for LSU in the top of the 4th, but they get 3. And we'll head to the bottom of the 4th from Columbia. South Carolina leads LSU 4-3. Sun's starting to creep out here in Columbia. 80 degrees, rain expected later. We're going to get at least this full one in and possibly a second in this scheduled doubleheader. South Carolina leads 4-3 as we get ready for the bottom of the 4th. And a new pitcher on the mound for LSU. It's Garrett Edwards, junior from Pitkin, Louisiana. Tall guy, Stu, 6'5" on the mound. Here are his numbers.
Yeah, anytime your ERA starts with a 0, that's always a good sign. And he's a guy that we knew we would see. We kind of thought we may have last night in that weather-interrupted game, but he's a 3-pitch guy. So a lot of times out of the bullpen you see more of that fastball and then their other pitch. But he's a 3-pitch guy. Again, velocity maybe up to 97. It has been this year. A slider, changeup. So really just a guy that can face a lineup, be a guy that stays in here a while too. So not a really short reliever in that regard. Kind of looking through the numbers for him. You know, always you want to see how many walks, only 4, strikeouts 26, opponent batting average 163. So this is, as you say, and we know like each team has their guy. Last night, Hicks was that guy for South Carolina out of the bullpen. Well, that's what role Garrett Edwards has served for LSU.
Braswell goes the other way, but Kling is there to make the play. 1 down. I mentioned the lack of walks issued by Edwards, just 4. He also hasn't hit anyone this season.
I can guarantee you that conversation happened as you go in from pitching coach Wes Johnson and say, we got to pound the strike zone. These guys are good. They're really good, but let's at least make them hit to get their runs in. That 4-run inning came with 1 hit, and that's what's been crucial to this series up to this point.
3 walks and 2 hit batters in that inning. Here's Evan Stone, who walked his first time up, scored a run. Stone has done a terrific job getting on base from the 9 spot, that OBP now at 430 for Evan Stone.
Yeah, I said, at the end of the game, he needs to look at the number of pitches he saw and the times on base, because that's really what great role he does. Then you take away, he makes your pitching staff so much better, Evan Stone does, because he can go catch so many balls in the outfield that a lot of guys can't. So Coach Tanner used to always say, does he keep more runs from scoring than he's giving in, you know? So that's what he does.
He strikes out here against Edwards, 2 down. Now we'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Braylon Wimmer. Wimmer 0 for 2. Flew out to right field in the first, struck out in the second. Senior from Yukon, Oklahoma. Grounded to the left side. White has some trouble with it. And Wimmer will reach. A 2-out base runner for the Gamecocks.
Now, the one thing Edwards has done that really their other bullpen guys had, he is working quick. Yeah, you get a break right there, and now you got a runner on first. Be interesting to see, do you try to put some things in motion with Cassis up, or do you let him get a chance to get his swings off? But with the shift that they have on, it makes it tough to kind of cover second sometimes. So see if he goes after him.
Tommy White's the lone defender on the left side of the infield for LSU. When South Carolina shifted against LSU's left-handed bats, they brought Lee Croy over to the right side and left Wimmer, the shortstop, on the left side. Instead, LSU has their shortstop on the right side of the infield, and they leave White over there.
Well, you kind of do that because you feel like that shortstop, one, typically your shortstop's the best arm guy on the infield, but two, he's just got a timer inside him that he knows how quick he has to get rid of the ball. You know, you always do a little 4-0 drill because it takes a runner typically 4-3 to 4-5 to get down the line. So it could be a tough play if Cassis could hit a ball to that side to see if White's kind of got that arm strength or timing to it. It also sets you off with the way, if you did steal, the way you'd have to cover the base because you're kind of in an awkward shift situation here.
2-1 the count on Cassis. Wimmer leads off first. Grounder to the right side. There's Jones. He'll take care of it. And that'll do it for South Carolina in the bottom of the fourth. They'll strand one, and we'll head to the top of the fifth from Founders Park. Gamecocks lead the Tigers 4-3. Getting ready for the top of the fifth here in Columbia. There's going to be a new pitcher on the mound for South Carolina. It's the right-hander Chris Veach. Takes over for Jack Mahoney.
Yeah, and Jack Mahoney, good start. You're trying to get through that 5 innings you want to get before you get in the bullpen. But this, I just think Veach with the changeup against these powerful bats could really be a reason you get him into the game. We think probably the earliest he's been in the game this year.
That I can remember, yeah.
Yeah, me too. So I think it's because of that. And LSU started to feel LSU-like last inning as they were getting their swings, and it makes sense. Get to the bullpen now. We kind of have, and maybe just you and I haven't looked at the radar enough, but you forget that weather's pending. So with those 5 innings, whatever it could turn into is still an official game. So we're getting into that situation now too. And as Gamecocks pitching staff, I'm sure they're thinking that too.
Sophomore from Chapin, Veach takes over for Mahoney. Mahoney went 4, gave up 3 runs on 4 hits, a couple of walks, 7 Ks through 86 pitches. His team leads 4-3. 2, 3, and 4 due up for the Tigers here in the top of the fifth, starting with Trey Morgan.
And start off with that changeup. I tell you what LSU did to run Mahoney up. Foul balls were the thing. I mean, it was, I'm guessing right there in that mid-teens as we made it through. They just would not give in on what were a lot of good pitches that they were fouling off.
It's a grounded foul. And Veach gets ahead of Morgan 1 and 2.
And this game is so hard on you. Trey Morgan right now, he's talking to himself. He's trying to just get back to what we all know he is, because he just hasn't been that guy. Well,
hard hit off the glove of Casas, who recovers in time to make the play and flip it to Veach. Credit Veach getting over. 1 down.
Wow, I get the assist there from the first base umpire, Derek Malika, and Trey Morgan, you got to be thinking, are you kidding me? I'm trying to get in it here. Things are going your way when you get the assist right there from the umpire.
Backhand flip from Casas. So 1 down. More importantly, Stu, nobody on for Dylan Cruz.
I was just about to say, I mean, so many big parts of that. It's probably going to be a double, as that ball is going to make its way down into the corner. Now you got no one on, and Dylan Cruz coming up, who easily can tie a game, but it's better than having those runners on and having your pitcher distracted just that little bit.
Veach gets ahead of Cruz. Cruz was hit by a pitch in the first and struck out looking against Mahoney in the third. The 1-2. Did he go? Yes! Says Derek Malika over at first. 2 down. Veach strikes out Cruz.
Yeah, you kind of read the body language of the hitter, and yeah, he certainly went. There's no argument from anyone on that one.
Veach gets ahead of Tommy White. Tommy's 1 for 2. A solo home run his last time up in the top of the fourth. 373 hitter, 11 bombs and 51 driven in.
Well, it's just been, and I talked a lot about the changeup, and he has come in with all speed. Has been really the thing right here. And they've gone after it again. Morgan hit it hard.
White has retaken the RBI lead. Now over Petrie with that home run. He had 5 in the midweek win over Nichols. Homered twice. His 3rd multi-homer game of the season.
Well, for sure, that one's going to go back and forth a lot from the power that we know White has, and obviously the season that Ethan Petrie's putting on. I was reading he's only 3 home runs shy of tying Justin Smoke's freshman record of actually maybe 2 now. It was 17.
Veach strikes out White. Back-to-back strikeouts for Chris Veach. He gets Dylan Cruz. He gets Tommy White. A 1-2-3 inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th from Columbia. Gamecocks lead the Tigers 4-3.
It's a dogfight, but every Friday night, you're going to be the best of the best out there competing.
You're getting the full package. The competition is going to be at highest level. The environments are going to be crazy. Stadiums upwards of 10,000 people. There's nothing like it.
If you don't have your A game that weekend, you can lose 2 out of 3 or get swept. So you got to be playing good baseball.
It is a grind in the SEC. Some exciting college baseball this weekend in the conference. Of course, Carolina LSU as good as it gets. You have Florida and Tennessee going at it as well. A nice crowd on hand here at Founders Park, despite the change in start time from 7 p.m. to noon.
Yeah, a lot of people off today, obviously Easter weekend, but you're right, switching. It was supposed to be a night game, and I think it would have been electric again like it was last night, but I think we'll see the capacity keep growing if the weather continues to be in our favor, where it looks like right now it is a little bit, but I'm still kind of looking at numbers for what Veach came in and did to just, you could feel LSU in that 4th inning was starting to feel good. They gotten some balls out. They got really their swings, and then Veach come in. The Trey Morgan at bat was huge because that ball's going to sneak down the line most likely for a double, hits the umpire, and you get that break. But then just the way he pitched the next 2 guys, I mean, Dylan Cruz and Tommy White are as good as it gets.
This one's served out to center. It'll drop in for a base hit. A leadoff single here in the bottom of the 5th for Ethan Petrie. He's aboard for the 3rd time today. That on-base percentage continuing to climb over 500. Walked in the first, was hit by a pitch in the second, now singles in the 5th.
And we were talking as we went to break. Now, weather-wise, it's a complete game. So from here on out, you revert back to the full inning. I know Ole Miss had that game early in the year with Southern Miss that we all saw online that kind of, or excuse me, Louisiana Tech. But that is the rule. So now every full inning, it's official game if it came to that. Obviously, there's a 3rd game pending if weather would allow as well.
0-1 the count on Cole Messina. He was 1 for 2 with a 2-run double his last time up.
Yeah, that Messina hit, which until Petrus was the only one a game, it was big. It was 2 strikes. You serve it to right field. Still big. They threw the runner out to plate. That inning had a lot bigger feel to it of what might happen.
It's hit through the middle. Back-to-back singles for the Gamecocks here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 on and nobody out. multi-hit game for Cole Messina. His 10th multi-hit game of the season.
And then we saw the bunt earlier with Braswell that ended up popping up to the pitcher, but certainly would think bunt here with Brewer with his speed, and it doesn't have to be a perfect bunt for a hit type bunt to get those runners second and third.
Brewer gets it down, and they won't have a play at third. They won't have a play at first. Edwards checked third, and Brewer runs well. He ran out of time, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the fifth as we take another look.
Yeah, Tommy White, the third baseman, got caught in no man's land. He broke on the bunt and then had no chance to get back and didn't communicate. Edwards was trying to get that lead runner, and then we get a visit real quick.
A mound visit for LSU. As they talk over what to do defensively here. Bases loaded situation, nobody out. Talmadge LeCroy due up. .22 pitches so far for Garrett Edwards. He's throwing strikes, but he's given up a couple of hits here.
Yeah, I mean,
the bottom of the fifth.
Stayed in with his, and obviously with Messina there, just tried to stay in the middle, ground ball. The shift was on, maybe in a regular alignment. Messina's may have been a double play ball, but they were in a shift. And then the bunt right there by Brewer, great job doing his job and gets rewarded by getting a hit on it.
LeCroy out to left center. It drops in for a base hit. Petrie scores. Messina will stop at third. It's an RBI single for Talmadge LeCroy. And the Gamecocks take a 5-3 lead.
Good job by third base coach Scott Wingo right there. Just, you got no outs, you got your catcher running. I thought we might see him sending him as aggressive as he had been earlier, but I think he really did the right thing right there. Not to mention, you got 4 straight hits and no outs with really a great on-base guy coming up in Carson Horner.
Horner swings through the first pitch. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. He walked and scored a run in the second and struck out in the third. Messina leads off third, Brewer off second, LeCroy off first. Count evens at 1-1.
And really with this shift would be really tough to turn a double play on these base runners that are involved right now. So if he can put that ball on the ground in the infield, certainly a run to score and may keep the rally going without an out.
Edwards gets ahead 1-2. Edwards has 1 strikeout so far. That was in the bottom of the fourth.
Nice job. That's that. You want to feel comfortable to be able to throw that off speed in the dirt, and he makes you on that block. Keeping it right in front of him.
Bases loaded, nobody out. Yet another full count to Carson Hornung. Stu, I swear, every time he's at the plate, it seems like there's a full count.
Yeah, we could go back and look. There's no doubt. He gets to see a lot of pitches, and it's leading to his results this year. You're just going to keep seeing his numbers. I know he's dealing a little bit with that foot fracture, but really good awareness of his own.
That one will get past Neal. It's a walk for Hornung. Messina comes in to score. Give Hornung an RBI, and South Carolina takes a 6-3 lead.
And I'm not sure Edwards on that pitch is feeling right with his elbow. I think that's not good. I just can. I don't like seeing that. I don't like seeing that out of him and the reaction.
We'll get loose quickly in the LSU bullpen.
Well, it's one of those situations. I think they may just tell him to slow down because now you can make a decision. I'll be really shocked if he throws another pitch after the reaction he gave on it just immediately.
a look at the pitch from Edwards. And that reaction's still not good.
No, you certainly never speculate the amount of work these guys put in. But they're doing the right thing here. Get him out, let the trainer see, and 29 pitches in. Let's hope this just didn't feel good and he's fine the next time out.
So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll tell you about the new LSU pitcher. Well, LSU will make a pitching change and bring in freshman left-hander Griffin Herring from Southlake, Texas. And Stewie comes into a tough spot with the bases loaded and nobody out.
Yeah, right before Edwards went out, this Gamecock offense came out this inning very aggressive. First pitch swinging. Again, the bunt by Brewer puts everything in motion. But, you had 4 straight hits until the Walt right there on Carson. But Herring is going to be those, usually the lefties you think coming in more of a soft toss. But this is 94. He's been up 96 from the left side. So I think it's just a guy, if you're LSU, we kind of said, well, you bring in a lefty versus a righty. I just think this guy has been a guy for them. And it just makes you feel like it's 6-3 game. Our offense is kind of right there at the point of getting going. Let's bring our guy in. Let's forget about lefts and rights and bring him in. And he's done a good job. Versus lefties this year, he's 143. Also, righties only 176. So you're going to see the changeup from him to the right-handed hitters. He's a fastball slider with the changeup pitcher.
Bases loaded, nobody out situation. Michael Braswell stepping to the plate. The next 3 hitters all right-handed for South Carolina against the lefty in Herring. Here's a crazy stat, Stu. 15th plate appearance with the bases loaded for South Carolina already in the series.
Wow. You felt like at least through these 14 innings, they have just been the aggressor for sure. LSU is kind of still trying to get in a rhythm.
Ground ball to Thompson, goes to second for 1, on to first. It's a double play. Brewer comes in to score. South Carolina gets another run. They take a 7-3 lead. An important 2 outs for LSU.
Yeah, no doubt. Just it's important for both. South Carolina right there, you want to get another run in that situation. And you tell Braswell, be ready. Let's swing the bat. LSU, though, when you lose one of your guys the way you feel like the way Edwards left the game, boy, right there, a hit with no out would have been really, a run with no out rather would have been really deflating.
Well, now there's a 2-out RBI opportunity for Evan Stone with Talmadge Leakroy leading off third. Stone walked and scored a run in the second, struck out in the fourth. He's 0 for 1.
Kind of been right, on our board, 91. We've gotten the scout report that he's been upwards of that 93, 94. Haven't seen it yet.
One and 2.
With the injury, it gave Herring as much time as he needed, and he really didn't take that long when you think about it. He's got that reliever mentality, so he was kind of got out, got his pitches, and got ready to roll.
Herring strikes out Stone, and he gets LSU out of trouble here in the bottom of the 5th. But South Carolina gets 3 more, and we'll head to the top of the 6th from Columbia. The Gamecocks lead the Tigers 7-3. As we get ready for the top of the 6th, Chris Veach back on the mound for South Carolina. Pitched a 1-2-3 top of the 5th with 2 Ks. Only 13 pitches. Here's Cade Beloso. Takes outside, ball 1.
Yeah, Beach, that changeup has just become his signature pitch, and it's hard to set on the changeup when he also has that 93, 94 mile an hour fastball. But his changeup, Dave, it'll be 78 to 80. So, I mean, it is a drastic velocity difference when you think that he's in that 93, 94 at times range.
Another pitcher coming off Tommy John. Guys really don't like facing Chris Veach. He's a competitor, big piece of the puzzle this season for South Carolina. He walks Beloso. Leadoff man on here in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, and you're bringing the guy up, Jared Jones. Had a single last time up, kind of that excuse me single, but yeah, especially when you just scored 3 runs, you feel like you take back that leadoff walk will frustrate you as a coach.
Jones with good power, 9 homers on the season. He takes ball 1. 5 straight balls here in the top of the 6th.
And LSU not really, I mean, you look at Beloso, very small lead, so I mean, it's not really ever a threat of running. Just, as you said, he was so comfortable last inning. Right now, it just seems, yeah, and Coach Parker going out a little bit too, just seems a little uncomfortable in his finish. So go out and check with him. So we're being amateur meteorologists here at the break.
Right.
Kind of looking at radars. So we were both talking, it's an official game after 5 if there's no game 3. So we're obviously going to be here through today or tomorrow before you make that decision. That's not going to be a quick one, but kind of asking all of our guys, and Justin Scurry, who runs the ballpark here, kind of helping me out. We're thinking around that 3 o'clock maybe time when we start a little bit, maybe 4. You got a better, let's go with yours.
I don't know if these weather apps are right on the phone. And it's looking like after 4 on mine.
Well, we're going to go with yours then.
But you never know. There's a strike. 2-1 the count.
And that shows you his bread and butter. You go to a visit, you come out, it's 2-0, and you go to 79-mile-an-hour changeup. I mean, that's just it shows you that's his pitch he's comfortable with, and it has been the pitch that's made hitters uncomfortable. And you can see right there, Jones is kind of, man, how do I think yes, yes, yes as a hitter when that 79-mile-an-hour changeup will not get to me?
Page strikes out Jones. 3rd strikeout for Chris Veach, 1 down.
So he went 79, 79, 80 on those 3 pitches, and we all get infatuated with velocity. Strikes are so important, and when you can throw changeups for them, so frustrating.
Here's Thompson. He threw him for strikes after, 6 straight balls.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when you feel like your visit was certainly worth it, when he went out and whatever that discussion was. But this is a guy you don't want to mess around. Jordan Thompson's 2 home runs this weekend have been no doubters into the bleacher area of the stadium.
Hit a 2-run shot last night. Hit a 2-run shot his last time up in the top of the 4th. Doubling his home run total for this season. He now has 4.
Again, with LSU, not really a running team. Their numbers indicate they're not. It's, you get yourself frustrated when you're clawed right back in this game and you made a 1-run game, and then they've just given so many free bases to allow those innings to happen. And Veach is just, he'll just dishearten you with the changeup after changeup.
Count evens to 2-2. To your point, Stu, LSU 13 for 19 in stolen bases this season. So in 30 games, only 19 attempts and 13 successful stolen bases.
Yeah, and just really, I maybe get the shortest leads of any team I've seen in a long time. I mean, it is just right there on the base. So this is a count, though. If you want to try to see what you can get going, the changeup giving you a chance to the plate, and this would be that opportunity to do it.
And Beloso over at first is 0 for 1 on the season. Stolen base chances. One down here in the top of the 6th, the 3-2. We'll do it again.
Yeah, where Cassis holds the runner on, he's probably below some, maybe 4 feet off.
Once again, the 3-2 is grounded foul. So Thompson putting a tough at-bat on Veach. Junior from California, 250 with 8 homers in 2021 when he made the SEC All-Freshman team, 286 with 6 homers last season, 307 so far in 2023.
He battled into that at bat.
He works a walk. So 2 on, 1 down here in the top of the 6th for LSU. Beloso moves up to second. And Thompson takes first. He'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Brady Neal. I'm sorry, Stu.
I'm sorry, big at bat right here, I feel, for this game. You're getting into that 6th inning. You got an RBI opportunity if you can get right here for Neal. Again, Veach just 78. He's kind of almost like Greg Maddux used to say. Every time I get excited, I try to throw a little bit slower, in a sense of slowing my body down, and he has done an excellent job of doing that.
That's ahead of Neal, 0-2.
Veach is almost South Carolina's soft tossing lefty, even though he's righty. I mean, he just is frustrating these guys with that straight change. It's not a breaking ball, just a change up.
Veach strikes out Neal. 4th strikeout for Chris Veach. 2 down.
You just felt like right there, that left-handed hitter Neal just never had a chance.
Now leave it up to the number 9 hitter, Paxton Kling. Pitch just misses. It's ball 1 to the freshman from Roaring Springs, Pennsylvania. He's 0 for 2 so far. Flew out to center field in the 3rd. Struck out in the 4th. 1-1 the count.
And that's that pitch, you know, the coaches have said, hey, think middle, think opposite field. He's not going to overpower you. And you're so geared up in this league for fastball that you just still can't gear it down enough right now on this change.
Each 1 strike away. Getting out of trouble here in the top of the 6th. Beloso takes his lead off second. Thompson leads off first. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. The 1-2. Got him! Chris Veach strikes out the side, and that'll do it for LSU in the top of the 6th. They'll leave 2 as Veach gets Beloso, he gets Thompson, and he gets Kling. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th from Founders Park. Gamecocks lead the Tigers 7-3. Clouds rolling in here at Founders Park. Just do you an SAT word in the break. Ominous looking.
That might have been the only one I can use. That's my thesaurus word of the day that I brought for you, but
it's an accurate description.
It's still the Veach, you know, in a world that we're living in now, there's exit velocities and velocities. We've had starters this weekend that are hitting 100. It's really fun to just watch when guys just pitch, and it's so frustrating to you as a hitter, and I know how they feel because you're just trying to work to get that pitch in the zone, but that was just an impressive inning to get out of.
3-1 the count on Braylon Wimmer. Braylon's 0 for 3. Flew out to right field in the 1st, struck out in the 2nd, reached on an error in the 4th. fly ball. Left center. It'll be the center fielder, Cruz, who makes the play. 1 down.
Braylon, you kind of felt that might have been that situation for the home run because he had really worked that count really well. And now Casas just, he's 2 hit by pitches already. So see if LSU tries to work maybe away with the left on left here. Still staying with that hard stuff, 92 on that fastball, just down and away.
Tosh is coming off a 4 for 15 weekend last weekend at Mississippi State. He's looking for his first hit of this series. He's been on base a bunch, though. Walked and hit by a pitch last night, hit by a couple of pitches today. 3-0 the count on Casas.
Yeah, Casas just, he brings so much power to the plate. You try to get in to kind of minimize that, and that's where his hit by pitches come from. Another walk.
4-pitch walk to Casas. 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. And a base runner for Ethan Petrie.
Casas and Petrie combined so far been on base 6 times. 6 times. You can just see the confidence now with Petrie as he walks to the plate, kind of share a laugh there probably with the catcher, Neil, and just really feeling it right now.
Really solved Petrie at all. Skeen struck him out once yesterday, but he's done something important every at-bat of the series. A couple homers, sac fly, hit by a pitch yesterday, walked, hit by a pitch, single today.
Yeah, he's quality at bats for sure.
Herring gets ahead 1-2. Petrie singled and scored a run his last time up. Average now 450, 15 homers and 51 driven in.
He just, even right now, 2 strikes, you can tell he's locked in, just still getting off such good swings at really good pitcher pitches. And then as a pitcher, you get so frustrated because you've made your pitch and he fouls it off or he takes it and the umpire doesn't give you maybe that call you want. Then you know, like right now, 2-2, I got to be in the zone. And he's made you pay. Not a real threat to run here with Casas, but still might not be a bad idea. Just get a little movement going because of this strange shift that they do. It'd be hard to cover.
3-2. Grounded to short. And it's booted. The throw is in time. Thompson recovers. Might have a challenge here, Stu?
Yeah, I was thinking we would. And I don't blame him. From at this point in the game, Coach Kingston, look and see, because it throws the umpire timing off too, and that ball is juggled right there in the middle. So see if maybe he didn't have as good a look as he thought. Man,
I'll tell you what,
from that angle, like Petrie might have got his foot to the base on just that one angle we got.
It was a heck of a recovery by Thompson. Booted at first and recovered very quickly to make it close.
Have to try to figure out now with the new wearing the mic on the field which guy. I think we may see a turnover here on this one. Yep. And that's where these shifts, Dave, everybody everybody does it now, and obviously in the big leagues you're not going to see it anymore because they can't do it, but it just puts you in awkward positions to field ground balls at, and second big error right there, from Thompson, the one last night lead off the game, and now that one to kind of springboard you here for this offense.
And Petrie reaches for the 4th time. Here's Cole Messina. That's chopped to third. To second for one, on to first. It's a double play. 5-4-3 double play, and that'll do it for the Gamecocks in the bottom of the 6th. We'll head to the top of the 7th from Columbia. South Carolina leads LSU 7-3. Getting ready for the top of the 7th from Founders Park. South Carolina leads LSU 7-3. It'll be top of the order due up for the Tigers against Chris Beach. He's getting ready for his 3rd inning of work. His season long is 2 innings. Coming off of Tommy John surgery, we're told, this season he's going to be a short reliever in the mix to be a closer. But, Stu, you think this is a good time to extend him a bit because of how he's pitched so far?
I think so. Now, the first pitch was a fastball up to 91. His changeup is just so effective against these type hitters that I think is why, and we've got the bullpen, rolling out there for the Gamecocks, but as a pitching coach and as a head coach, boy, he just made you feel good. He's thrown so many strikes. He's thrown so many changeups for strikes. And we like to think, at least in a coach's mind, that the changeup doesn't take as much out of you as the fastball. So I think you'll see him extended maybe more than you normally. But there again, it's a leadoff walk, which is he did last inning, and he got out of it himself with the 3 Ks as he mixed in one more walk last inning. But
the only difference last inning is he was dealing with the bottom of the order. Now he's dealing with the top, and you're going to have Morgan and Cruz due up next.
Yeah, again, and Trey Morgan, obviously a guy last inning got the ball that got by Cassis, hit an umpire and got him out. He's scuffling a little bit, but he's gotten off some good swings here in the last couple at bats.
Trey Morgan is 1 for 3. He singled in the first, struck out in the third, grounded out in the 5th.
That changeup right there, it starts off at you almost as a left-handed hitter and then runs back across the plate. You can see Morgan flinch a little bit.
Pitch outside, 2-1 the count on Morgan. Kevin Dugas over at first. Has not attempted a steal this season. That's lofted foul and out of play.
Sitting fastball, 2-1, you just feel like he's going to come at you, 79-mile-an-hour changeup and get you. He was fortunate, Morgan was, to just foul it off. I think probably the last 2 hitters here just kind of see a little more laboring out of each of this inning. A little more self-encouragement, I guess you could call it, when you're starting to get into really a pitch count. I know he's been there in his career. He's been doing this a while, but hasn't been there in a while. So you start to kind of tell yourself, I'm still good. But I think Cade Austin, who also has a plus changeup, is ready to go here soon.
Popped up. Messina will give it a look. It'll be out of play. Who's raining down here at Founders Park? Stu, that was out of my view. I didn't see what happened.
Mine too. I'm kind of thinking someone just didn't make the play. No, it's an LSU fan.
Well, that explains it.
Yep, he's back here in the gold jersey, caught it in his hat. Yeah, it's never easy on the road.
Sure isn't. The 2-2. The count is run full on Trey Morgan.
Yeah, I think if Trey reaches right here, I'd be shocked if you're not going to the bullpen. If he can get him, I could see you give him one more with Cruz. he struggled with the changeup himself.
Yeah, to right. Petrie comes in and makes the play. 1 down. And keeps Dugas at first. 50 pitches now for Veach.
Yeah, a little visit here by Messina might be it anyway. I was thinking that if he could get out of that one, he might get Cruz, but I think, like you said, you've kind of reached that pitch count that you're very weary of.
Chris Veach was a two-way player at Presbyterian. Then got hurt. Only hit last season when he was battling elbow issues. Started this season as a two-way player for South Carolina. Hit a bit in the first series, but he's only pitched since.
I'm convinced Coach Parker I'm still good to go. And again, I'm not shocked because of the effectiveness he had on Cruz last at bat. This isn't trying to throw it by a guy here. It's going to be a change-up type at bat.
So here's Dylan Cruz. Cruz is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch in the first, struck out in the third and the fifth. Takes up high, ball 1.
I think that was a slider more than the changeup on that pitch. Kind of had a breaking ball, kind of looked to it just up.
Strike 1. Cruz, numbers the last 2 years outstanding. 362 hitter last year with 18 homers. 349 as a freshman with 22 bombs. This season, the numbers off the charts. He's behind 1 and 2.
Yeah, we talked about pitch to him with no one on, but another good situation. You just keep minimizing his at-bats.
Doesn't get him to chase, and the count evens at 2 and 2. Cruz, who would have been a high pick out of high school, but withdrew in order to attend LSU, so the atmosphere, the resources there really influenced his decision to attend LSU. He was the highest ranked player in 2020 to attend college. Been nothing short of outstanding his entire career for LSU.
They just got a great group in. They do every year, obviously, at LSU, like so many teams in this league. But just look around this league with Thompson and Morgan and Cruz. That whole class was just, it was game changing.
There goes Dugas. Pitch is fouled off. So with 1 out. And the full counts too. They do send Dugas.
Yeah, again, very short leads LSU does it. You've given the numbers. They're not looking to run, but that's kind of a excuse me takeoff almost like he may have thought it was 2 outs the way he went in motion on that one.
The runner goes again.
He's gonna have to hustle back.
Popped into foul territory. Casas makes the play. 2 down.
Yeah, and you're getting to that point. You're at that point, in my opinion, in the 7th inning with the way this bullpen's been or the pitching's been for South Carolina. You got to try to get some guys in motion, just do some things. You're not really so much trying to steal the base right there. You're just trying to stay out of a double play. So you're hoping Cruz puts that ball in play, puts it on the ground in a gap, but nice play there by Casas, going way back to get the foul ball.
Here's Tommy White. He takes strike 1. White homered in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. He's in the hole 0-2.
Yeah, the changeup today has been the pitch. It's frustrated these guys. I think once Veach gets through and we go to K. Dawson, you're going to see a lot of them from him as well.
shot apiece.
Just enough to keep himself in it. Just a very defensive swing, though, from Tommy White on that one. Just his changeup is taking all the aggressiveness out of the swings. It's just very defensive and trying to wait.
One and two the count on the slugging third baseman, Tommy White. NC State transfer. He was the 2022 ACC Freshman of the Year last year for the Wolfpack. 27 homers. Drove in 74.
Those numbers, this year especially, we're hearing just incredible numbers from Gamecock offense, LSU, but you start to think 27 home runs a freshman, that's incredible.
Broke the ACC freshman home run record, the NC State single season home run record, and then the NCAA freshman home run record with the 27th. Chopped up the middle. Wimmer will step on second for the final out of the inning, and that'll do it for LSU in the top of the 7th. Another 0 put up by Chris Veach. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch. Gamecocks lead the Tigers 7-3. Both of these teams hoping to get there this season.
Oh, no doubt. We'd mentioned earlier, you're starting to position yourself where you feel pretty good. Postseason seems pretty assured as you kind of feel for both teams here. Now you start to battle for that word national seed. You'll start to hear that term a lot here because this is week 4. I mean, there's only 6 weeks left after this. You kind of, next week, you're starting to say, all right, who's really in this hunt and who's not? South Carolina's clearly in it, only with Vanderbilt being undefeated, would you not be in first place, which is hardly ever happens in this league. So, and LSU still right in that crazy West with opportunity, obviously, to win both. So it has, I've said it since last night's had a super regional feel, a postseason feel to this whole weekend.
2-2 the count on Brewer. Now the count is run full. He's 0 for 2, reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run his last time up. Went off an excellent series at Mississippi State last weekend. Was 5 for 8, walked 5 times.
And these are big at-bats for Dylan Brewer because if you want to be in the lineup every day, you got to be good at these left-on-left at-bats. And left-handed hitters, a lot of times you don't get the opportunities because coaches want to go right on left, but he's getting one here, battled through it, already on your 7th pitch of this at-bat, so it's a quality at-bat.
Works a walk, a leadoff walk here in the bottom of the 7th for Dylan Brewer, who has very good speed. And some options for the Gamecocks. Brewer 4 for 4 in stolen bases this season. LeCroy handles the bat well. Pinch hitter on deck. Looks like that's French. Getting ready to pinch hit for the left-handed hitter, Hornung. LeCroy shows bunt, pulls it back. Throw down to first.
Jordan's had his glove working today, and if you don't on that one, you're looking at a free base. Again, could be one of those two where you show the bunt a lot to keep the infielders uncomfortable. I could see Brewer running on this at go and don't get picked type situation. Oh, got it down. Excellent bunt.
That's a beauty from LeCroy. The throw gets away. So the Gamecocks will have runners on first and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th.
I think you have to give a hit on that one. I know it's kind of a bang-bang on that throw, but boy, what an excellent bunt. I thought he was going to be safe anyway.
It is a single. An infield single for LeCroy. He has a multi-hit game. So First and second, nobody out. Jonathan French will pinch hit for Hornung, but first he'll have a chat with Mark Kingston.
Now here's the question: do you leave the bunt on? You were trying to bunt right there. You'd have been fine with giving up an out to get the runner to second. So you'd assume right here, and I'm not sure how good a bunter he is, but he's already been announced, so he's the hitter. I would think you'd bunt here to try to get second and third, and you're getting at that point. LSU still just fantastic offense, but you're feeling pretty good about yourself if you can add on to a 4-run lead here going into the 8th when it's LSU's at bat.
French does have one sacrifice this season. Doesn't need to sacrifice there. Takes ball 1.
Yeah, not tipping it off. Usually you'll see a hitter choke up a little bit if they're going to bunt, and obviously when they show you, but showed no indications of it right there.
You know the count on Jonathan French, senior from Wilburn, Georgia, Clemson transfer. Was 1 for 3 with a walk on Tuesday against UNC. An RBI double to put South Carolina ahead 1-0 in the 7th. Three-0.
Still in a little bit on the corners, but again, I haven't seen any indication of a bunt. And obviously 3-0, you're going to make them work, I would think, right here.
3-1 the count. I mentioned what he did against UNC. He didn't play at Mississippi State, but he had a 2-run double the midweek before at the Citadel. He's done some damage in those midweeks when he's gotten a start behind the plate.
Yeah, and this is how you build confidence. He told him on deck, I'm going to let you swing. It's been obvious that's what was said. And get up there and do this for us. He's been a guy that's been clutch for him at times this year.
.273 hitter is French. He has 1 home run, 7 driven in. Called strike 3. Herring gets French, 1 down.
And you go with your gut there. You let him have his at bat. It was one of those I thought we were going to see the bunt just because we saw it previous with LeCroy. But you know what? Now Braswell, pick your teammate up. Whatever that call was, let's go with it here and get it done.
A strike's going to be called on Braswell. Second time we've seen it today now, Stu.
Yeah,
taking too much time getting into the box.
Yeah, and it's weird on that one. It's, are you ready for the pitch? And the umpire deems you ready. But yeah, again, the last time it was a hit by pitch, that one a hit. So South Carolina hitters going, well, you know what? We'll take them.
Kling gets it in quickly from right. So Brewer stops at third. LeCroy moves to second. Braswell's at first after the base hit. The bases are loaded for South Carolina with 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th.
I think this is more of a discussion visit of how we're going to handle this, because you're at that point in the game that, and you want to play back in the middle and get your, get a double play and get out of the inning. But Stone is just one of those hitters that you feel like if we play back in the middle, he's got a good chance of beating it out. So I think it's a discussion now of maybe you're a little softer, you're not right in, but let's just really kind of, I think it's what we're going through here.
40 pitches so far for Griffin Herring. It's Riley Cooper warming in the pen for LSU, another lefty. A couple of right-handed hitters due up in Stone and Wimmer, and then Casas would be the next left-handed hitter for the Gamecocks.
Let's see how they play it defensively, because if they play way back, especially on the corners, and you don't see it a lot. Well, I've seen Stone bunt in these situations before. If you catch everybody kind of back, first is in thinking that. Jordan's like way in up on the grass, so he's taking away a little push.
As Strike one to Evan Stone, who's 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked and scored a run in the second. Struck out in the fourth and the fifth.
What this allows defensively, Braswell can get a huge lead at first.
So anything in a gap could easily score 3.
Yeah, could score him, and it's hard to think you could turn a double play with him having such a jump unless it's just a really sharply hit ball.
Two on the count on Stone, who's looking for his first hit of the series. He's been on base a couple of times, hit by a pitch yesterday, walked today. That OBP sitting at 420 for Evan Stone. Count evens at 2-2.
Staying away, staying away. I guess why first base up in the really further than you normally see, right on the edge of the grass. Second base, shortstop still back, looking for really deeper than 2, kind of honestly.
Called strike 3. Another strikeout for Herring, 2 down. Got French looking, gets Stone looking. In order to get out of this inning, he'll have to deal with Braylon Wimmer. Braylon looking for his first hit of the day. Fly ball right field and deep. Kling to the track will make the play in front of the wall for the final out of the inning. And Herring gets out of trouble. The Gamecocks leave the bases loaded. We'll head to the top of the 8th from Columbia. South Carolina leads LSU 7-3. Ready for the top of the 8th here in Columbia. Rain has stayed away so far. Trying to play 2 today. Finish up the series between number 1 LSU and number 6 South Carolina. Gamecocks won yesterday 13-5. They have a 7-3 lead here in game 2 of the series. There's a new pitcher on the mound for South Carolina. It's the right-hander, Cade Austin.
Yeah, and Cade is one of those old school type closers. You could see a 2-inning save in this, but I think where Cade matches up so well is what Veach has shown already is just that changeup. And Cade's going to throw more fastballs than Veach did, but he has that type plus changeup too. Actually, both guys from Chapin High School, in fact. So, I mean, they've known each other and pitched with each other a long time. Cade comes out immediately and throws 94-mile-an-hour fastball just to remind me it's not going to all be changeups.
Team leading 13th appearance for Cade Austin. Closed out the win on Tuesday against UNC, a scoreless, hitless inning with a pair of strikeouts. And 1 appearance last weekend at Mississippi State. And he's been great. Has only been scored on in 2 of his 12 pitching appearances this season.
Well, he's another guy defensively. Guys just like playing behind. Get the ball, get it, and go. Comes out of wind-up where a lot of guys now come in the stretch, but he just gets it, goes. You can kind of see the hitter still kind of asking for time as he's getting going.
Count is run full on Cade Beloso. Shift is on for Cade.
Cade showed us last night his power, so you don't want to mess around here.
Did he go? No. Says David Savage over at third, so a leadoff walk for Beloso here in the top of the 8th. He's walked twice today. Now they'll bring up Jared Jones.
We talked about Jones's power. It's still the frustration through the last really 4 innings with a changeup. You kind of see if we can just keep that going as Gamecock pitching staff.
It's ball 1 to Jones. Jones 1 for 3. Struck out in the second, singled and scored a run in the fourth, and struck out in the 6th. High pop-up. That will drift foul and out of play.
It's amazing these two teams right now, how similar. Not really a running team. You keep saying, I almost start to think it's Cass that's going to play behind the runner a little bit with the leads that they get, you still got to honor them by holding.
2-1 on the count on Jones.
The difference so far in Cade's change and Veach's, they just have not swung. It's been a case where they've just kind of set on these change-ups here in these 2 at-bats.
Derek Malika said he went, so the count evens at 2-2. And the count is run full.
And still, I don't think he motioned here. You kind of still.
I don't think so either.
You got Thompson coming up who's shown some power. You're just trying to. The walks might be the spark that they do get. There's a big strikeout.
Austin strikes out Jones, 1 down. Of course, Peloso stayed put. Already in the 8th and trailing by 4, Stu. Power hitting team, you don't want to run into any outs.
Yeah, not much. That's not who they are. You kind of early thought maybe you get a little motion going just to get somebody, and you get your break there on that one.
And Peloso will take second.
Ball.
So runner in scoring position for LSU. RBI opportunity for Jordan Thompson. Austin strikeout of Jones. 13th strikeout for South Carolina pitching today. The count on Thompson. He's been a dangerous hitter in this series. He's 1 for 2 today, a 2-run shot in the 4th, also walked in the 6th.
Kind of getting the down. Hadn't seen many called down like that, so that's a big pitch right there for Cade to go from 3-0 to 2-1's a big difference. That kind of sets you back up where you can go change up, fastball, either one.
That's the fastball, and it misses. 93 from Austin off the outside corner. Three and 1 the count on Thompson.
Now does the step off and tie your shoe count as your step off? That might be in the small print on this right there.
Peloso leads off second. The 3-1 is grounded foul. The count is run full on Thompson.
As we taught, it's filled in here as the day has gone on. And as the weather holds off, hopefully get in our second game.
The 3-2. It's ball 4. Second walk issued by Cade Austin. 2 on with 1 down here in the top of the 8th for LSU. Number 8 hitter due up in Brady Neal. Neal out of IMG Academy. The number 1 catcher in Florida, number 2 catcher in the nation by perfect game for the class of 2022. He was drafted in the 17th round of the MLB draft by the Brewers. We have a meeting on the mound for South Carolina. He opted to go to LSU instead, did Neal. Could have been potentially a teammate of Noah Hall. Noah was taken in the 20th round by the Brewers. Noah decided to return to South Carolina.
Obviously all the players' goal, make it to pro baseball, give yourself a chance to the big leagues. But tell you what, it's pretty special playing in this league too, especially a guy when you can come in, develop, and set yourself up, you hope, later on in your career for even better opportunity at that pro chance.
And an opportunity here to drive in some runs. First and second, 1 down. And a strike one from Austin.
Yeah, and LSU's kind of taking South Carolina's blueprint this inning, even though they've got the one strikeout in it with the walks. See if you can get something going, and the left-handed hitters now. Just comes right out. You can tell the veteran guy, I'm not going to get behind here in this count, and just pound the zone for the first 2 pitches.
And misses. The count's 1-2. Neal looking for his first hit of the series. Average at 212. 3 homers and 9 driven in. Austin gets Neal looking. 2 down. Second strikeout for Cade Austin.
Look back, just at least 5 backward Ks for LSU today, trying to figure the strike zone out a little bit instead of being aggressive. You got a pinch hitter here, though. Trying to go get that lefty in again with Joe Bear. So sometimes I'm not sure lefty is what you really want to do against these changeup guys. It seems like the righties have had a little bit better read on them.
The right side and through for a base hit. Beloso will stop at third. Gamecocks get it in quickly.
I'm not really sure. The third base coach was bringing Beloso. What happens a lot, and this happened to me when I was coaching third, he threw the stop sign up for the trail runner. And Beloso had not passed him yet, and all I can think is out of the corner of his eye saw the stop sign, because he really broke down. The throw went in the second. South Carolina was giving him a run, but if you watch, third base coach throws up the stop sign to the runner on second. Beloso locks it down.
High fly ball, left field. Brewer back to the wall, and it's gone. Oh, blast from Dugas. And a big inning for LSU, a grand slam. We are tied.
Coach Johnson talked about Dugas, and there's just one of those, I'd said it before, you take that blueprint and we're going to make you throw strikes this inning instead of being so aggressive, and pays off, but your veteran hitter in Dugas is ready to jump right on that fastball.
10th home run of the season for Dugas.
Trey Morgan, he's all weekend, and you know I love him. He's had a hard time figuring the zone out. He kind of stepped out on that one. But I'm not going to blame him. I have too at times. It's been very small.
Ground ball to first. Casas took care of it himself. The final out. That'll do it for LSU in the top of the 8th. But they get 4 on the grand slam from Gavin Dugas. And we'll head to the bottom of the 8th from Columbia, tied at 7. Seven runs on 6 hits. Couple errors for LSU. 7 runs on 6 hits for South Carolina. 3 home runs for the Tigers. Solo shot from Tommy White, 2-run shot from Jordan Thompson. Now a grand slam from Gavin Dugas, and we have a tie game here in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, just one of those, unfortunately for Austin, has come in the walks. But they've been the key for both teams both ways. And it's now, as you and I kind of look around, you start to catch yourself looking at the skies again with the weather. And this is some big at-bats. You got the heart of the Gamecock lineup, 2, 3, 4. Go to bullpen with Cooper here, a guy that they really trust. So, hey, this is what it's supposed to be in the middle of a series against these two teams. And you're going to see the changeup, too, with Cooper. He's got a good fastball. He's going to get it up there in that 90, 91. But the changeup is pitch to try to see now. Kind of negated against the lefty, so let's see with the breaking ball.
2, 3, and 4 due up for the Gamecocks, starting with Gavin Casas, who takes strike one. Gavin's 0 for 1. He's been on base a bunch, hit by a couple of pitches. Scored a run, walked in the 6th.
It's weird to see a big guy like Casas, but he's kind of fallen into that 2 spot and been that guy, getting on base, not trying to make it all about driving the ball. He's got 15 home runs, so obviously he can do that. But remember, what started LSU's rally? Leadoff walk. So a big at bat right here by Casas.
This could be trouble. White makes the play, 1 down.
Yeah, that's a nice play, and Casas giving all he could to get down the line on that. Nice play by White.
You can see why they'll leave him alone on the left side on some of those shifts.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, very athletic. And sure here, kind of odd to see him come out this quick for a visit, so I'm not sure if maybe that was his only guy. And I think it was. Just, and it makes sense if it is, because Cooper's ball runs so, yeah, and it is. It runs so much into the right-handed hitter.
And another pitching change here in the bottom of the 8th, so we're going to take a break, and we'll tell you about the new LSU pitcher when we come back. Pitching change for LSU here in the bottom of the 8th. They'll bring in the freshman, Gavin Guidry. Guidry is a two-way player for LSU. Only 7 at-bats on the season. He's had 5 appearances out of the pen coming in. Hitting in a third on Tuesday against Nichols, 3 strikeouts. He was the 2022 Gatorade Louisiana Player of the Year, Stu.
Yeah, and it you know, with Edwards early going down with at least the issue that got him out of the game. Only 6 appearances. You said this is a big-time moment as the wind just crazy picked up. As I looked out on the field, we've been looking down at our stats, and you can almost see the rain coming right across the city here, it seemed like. Kind of ominous as it changed on us quickly, but
oh yeah,
you know, a guy that's going to give you that power fastball.
Petrie the other way, but foul.
I was kind of looking, always tried to do a little scouting report before, and as you had said, just, you know, not the overpowering 90-94, but he's a 3-pitch guy, slider, changeup, so I think we would see the changeup some.
Ground ball to third, White. 2 down.
And that's a huge one, the freshman versus freshman there. And looks like we're going to be needing stuff to hold down our papers.
Stu,
this has changed quick.
Start taping down.
Yeah.
It was completely still just a few minutes ago, and now the flags are whipping out there in center field.
Wow, that's about as quick a weather change as you can get here in Columbia. Cole Messina's thinking, boy, I didn't get that call. I've been nice to you back here.
0-1 the count on Messina. Pitch up high, 1-1.
And that wind is blowing right in at the hitter. So, I mean, I think you could probably still, you look at the flags in left, they're blowing in now too. So everything has just changed really in this 5 or 10 minutes.
Fly ball center field. Now having to race in and make the play is the right fielder, Joe Bear, who makes a sliding catch. Terrific play made by Braden Joe Bear, and that'll do it for the Gamecocks as the wind played havoc with that one. And that could be an issue the rest of the way. We'll head to the top of the 9th from Columbia, tied at 7. Getting ready for the top of the 9th here at Founders Park. Wind is whipping. Tied at 7 between LSU and South Carolina. New pitcher for the Gamecocks. It's Eli Jones.
Dave, I'm taping stuff down, holding it down, and again, that's kind of been our theme with Dylan Cruz. At least you get him to lead off, and the wind has just completely changed in the sense, though, of how it's now blowing in really, really hard from center field. So it's not to say with these two teams in their power they couldn't get one out, but it's going to take something special, as we saw on Messina's fly ball, almost dropped in front.
Jones pitched last night, only threw 17 pitches, so he's good to go today.
They always laugh at me, guys that watch me, but the old dirt in the eye trick, there's no penalty ever for it. So that's the one. You got to have one good dirt in the eye guy, and Lee Croy did it on that one for us.
Strike one to Dylan Cruz.
Well, the one thing with the wind, you do feel better to just really challenge hitters, because it's gonna take something pretty special, at least for the long ball. Now, home or base hits, obviously a different story, but he's come right at Cruz. First fastball they've really seen in a while, this LSU hitters.
That one just misses. Cruz just one hit in this series so far. It was last night, a single. It's laced into the Gamecocks dugout. Hoping that missed everyone.
Me too. The ground crew in there. Donnie's Lindler's still down. Scurry there, those guys. They were looking for cover, but when I tell you what, when you start seeing your grounds crew in the dugout, it does tell you weather's an issue some point.
The fans at Founders Park wanted that one.
Yeah, I thought we kind of had a little, maybe even a little flinch there from John Mamrie. I tell you what, he's kept his own, and he's kept it small.
The 2-2. Count has run full on Cruz. Works the leadoff walk here in the top of the ninth.
Dave, I don't know much, but I'm going to go right here and say Tommy Tanks is not running.
I'd agree with that.
Okay. The thing is with Dylan Cruz, although not, again, we talk about not really a base running team, but boy, you talk about athletic and a guy that could do it if needed. And Cruz is 3 for 3 when he has been put in motion. Kind of might be a time, because you don't feel like you want to go too deep into these games with South Carolina's hitters.
White's in the hole 0-2. Tommy White 1 for 4 today. The one solo shot in the fourth. 365 hitter, 11 homers and 51 driven in.
Maybe our biggest lead of the day by Cruz at first for sure.
One and two the count. Petrie had an RBI on that bases loaded hit by pitch earlier, so both now at 51, going back and forth for the nation's lead.
It's going to be fun. Kind of follow that throughout this series and this season. Gosh, you think back, that seems like so long ago. Those hit by pitches right after the big strikeout, 2 in a row.
It's grounded foul.
It's right out of the box. I thought that thing was going to stay in the grass. Cass is set back on it a little.
White, we talked about, broke the NCAA freshman home run record last season with 27. That was a record that stood for 32 years. He's always hit for power. He won the Under Armour Home Run Derby while in high school.
Yeah, and he showed it. His home run earlier almost left the ballpark. Oppo.
Chopped off the glove of Jones. He recovers and he'll flip to Casas. One down. Productive out, though, off the bat of White as Cruz advances to second.
It sets you up. Good runner at second with Cruz. So obviously you got an opportunity if you're LSU on a base hit to score. Outfielder's still fairly deep. I was kind of looking at Petrie. They kind of yelled at him just now to come in a little bit. But the wind is still pushing to right. Now if you get a ball up from the home bullpen, Carolina's bullpen over, I think the wind's going to aid it. So you got to be careful. We saw Belosi last night get one late in that game real easily out of right field.
Also is 0 for 2, a couple of walks today, has scored a run. One skips past Messina, and Cruz will trot down to third.
Kind of spiked. That was 88 miles an hour is about the wind speed, I think, that just came through here as well. But now, yeah, you got to go infield in. I mean, it's 9th inning here. So just completely changed your defense here, how you have to go infield in now as compared to you were back with a runner at second. Outfield's still deep. So, I mean, it's a...
Up the middle and through for a base hit. Cruz will score. It's an RBI single for Beloso, and LSU has taken the lead 8-7 here in the top of the 9th.
And that pass, or wild pitch, it just right there, you'd have had a chance, you think, with Braswell on that without having to come infield in.
Another look at the ribby single from Beloso.
Pinch hitter coming out on us. We're kind of up here fighting to win a little bit ourselves as they trying to look myself. Number 11, Josh Pearson coming to the plate. Again, trying to get a lefty up against the righty. I'll give you some numbers real quick, Dave. Right now, 56 at bats, hitting 232. Trying to look down a little bit for the power numbers. Yeah, no home runs with 13 RBIs.
Pearson got the start. Just listening to the announcement here on the weather. Pearson got the start in right field last night and was 0 for 3.
Yeah, you're trying to, again, at LSU, it seems like every guy can hit left-handed, it feels like at times. But again, the way the wind is right now, if you do get one up toward right field, and it'll be true for the Gamecocks when they come up, you've got a big-time chance of getting it through. We both kind of stopped as we heard a weather update. I'm not exactly sure if he was warning possibly of impending weather, or kind of missed that.
I did as well. 0-2 the count on Pearson. Right back to Jones, who will flip to Casas for the double play. And that'll do it for the Tigers in the top of the 9th, but they get the go-ahead run on the RBI single from Beloso. They head to the bottom of the 9th. From Columbia, LSU leads South Carolina 8-7. Getting ready for the bottom of the 9th here in Columbia. Skies don't look promising. Last chance for the Gamecocks, who trail 8-7. They led 7-3 going into the top of the 8th. But LSU got 4 in the 8th and 1 in the 9th. They lead 8-7. Dylan Brewer is 0 for 2.
Yeah, the weather has changed about as quick as this game's changed. As we're sitting here now, and have gone from all day being really warm and almost hot to now looking for a sweatshirt to throw on, and it's blowing right in. Again, Dylan Brewer, left-handed hitter, though I do think it's going to wind aid it if you get a ball up to right field.
1-1 the count on Brewer.
And it's amazing, as much as we've talked about the veteran guys for both teams, Petrie and now Guidry, the young guys that these two teams are counting on in crucial situations.
Count evens at 2-2.
That's the one you Gamecock dugout. You're thinking that's going to set you up for a 3-1 count.
Now the count is run full. They'd love to get Brewer on base. He has excellent speed. On base percentage is high, 447. He's been on base twice already today. Walked his last time up.
Yeah, if he can get on, LeCroy has shown the ability to bunt when needed. He's also a guy you can steal. You can see a lot of different things.
Gamecocks had that scenario in the bottom of the 7th when Brewer led off the inning with a walk, and then LeCroy singled. Couldn't bring him home.
Yeah, these lead-off at-bats here in the 9th inning are always huge.
The 3-2. Called strike 3. Brewer down looking.
Guidry has really, he's shown us something. Come in to throw the breaking ball right there, 3-2, 84-mile-an-hour breaking ball. As a guy who really, obviously he's super talented when you're playing at LSU, but really hasn't been their guy up to this point as far as we know, looking at appearances. But boy, I think he's trying to get his name on that map.
This one's lofted out to right. It's going to be a tough play, and it drops in for a base hit. A 1-out single for LeCroy.
LeCroy, third straight hit there. It sets you up. You and I talked about you give yourself that chance, and that's what you do right here with Jonathan French coming up. Oh, LeCroy's getting pitch run by Tippett.
Gamecocks add a little more speed at first. We'll tip it. Jonathan French will step in.
Trey Morgan did everything you could on that one. With the wind blowing in the way it was, no shot he could get to it.
Ball 1 to French. French pinch hit for Carson Hornung in the bottom of the 7th. Struck out. He's 0 for 1.
Good lead at first base.
2-0.
Kind of peeking around the outfield. The LSU outfield is in as they realize that wind is holding balls up. So you do have a chance if you could shoot one in a gap here with Tippett running.
Tippett with good speed has not attempted a stolen base this season. Leads off first. 2-1 now the count on French.
And that's what Guidry's just been so unpredictable. I mean, you're thinking there, freshman, 2-0 count, you're going to get your fastball, and there he goes with just that hard breaking ball, 84 miles an hour down out of the zone. Not much you could do there if you're French.
That's fouled back, and count is even at 2-2. French hitting .265, 1 home run and 7 driven in.
Yeah, no saves on the year for Guidry as we kind of keep peeking through those numbers to see what we see.
Called strike 3, second strikeout for Guidry.
And this is a guy, if you're the Gamecocks, you like coming up because Braswell shows so much power to right field throughout his career. And this is, if you're looking for that ball to sneak in the gap or the corner, this could be it.
Sophomore Braswell will step in. LSU. 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th. Sorry, Stu.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just see their infielders kind of really trying to get attention of the coaching staff to where do you want us? Do we want to stay in our shift? Or so they've kind of got him back second base up the middle. Not a true shift as he's on the right side of the bag, but big right side for Braswell. and I'm not going to be shocked to see Tippett run.
I was just going to ask you that. At what point do you try to get Tippett in scoring position here?
I just think it would be a great opportunity right here, because if he's in motion in a base hit, you just got a chance to score, and if he's not in motion, you know, it's so hard to score from first base normally is what I'm saying. If maybe you could get that base and they're a little out of position, and you got a boy right now, Brazel, and you got Denny out on deck, a powerful left-handed hitter. So Guidry's going to want to come right at him.
3-0 the count on Braswell.
Yep, and now you get to sit there a little bit, make him throw a strike, make him work. Freshman on the mound, no saves on the year, so this is uncharted territory for him too.
Braswell is a patient hitter. He led the team in walks last season.
And remember, there's his one, so if he steps off here, it would be ball 4.
There's a strike. 3-1 the count on Braswell.
Good take there. That's about all you could do in that situation.
Braswell's 1 for 4. He singled his last time up. That was in the bottom of the 7th. Tippett leads off first. Ball 4. Braswell is aboard. The tying run is at second. The winning run is at first. 2 down here in the bottom of the 9th.
Well, you bring a guy to the plate here, and Denny had the big two-out hit, 2-strike hit against Missouri, and the way this wind is blowing, it is going right to where you would want him. Big at bat by Brazel right there. To not get out of the zone and try to do too much.
So shortstop Thompson has something to say to Guidry. Pinch hitter Denny steps in. Junior from Oklahoma in 225, 4 homers and 31 runs batted in. Take strike 1.
Tell you what, he has felt comfortable going to that pitch. 84-mile-an-hour spin right at the bottom of the zone. Kind of get back into that looking around as a third base coach. You got to go here. 2 outs, base hit, you're sending. You're kind of in the back of your mind. You're also realizing you got a runner at first base. So base hit here with this crazy wind, and LSU's going back into just straight up here, still deep in the outfield. So base hit, you should tie this game. Ball in the gap, you got a chance to win it.
1-2 the count on Denny.
Denny was a little better than me. I thought that was a pretty good pitch right there to take.
Denny,
but it was down. Got
off to such a hot start this season. 5 multi-hit games in his first 6 games of the year, batting in the 3 spot. Looking to come through here. It's ball 2.
And a huge shift, though. Pay attention to the shift in the sense of this breaking ball that Guidry keeps throwing is a ball that Denny could put on the ground really more at that 6th hole where there's no one at.
How's that back?
And don't forget, the way this wind is just howling now down that right field line, if you get a ball up, you got a really good chance.
Tippett leads off second. Braswell leads off first. Guidry strikes out Denny, and that'll do it. LSU defeats South Carolina 8-7. 8 runs on 7 hits and 2 errors for the Tigers. 7 runs on 7 hits and no errors for the Gamecocks. And Stu, LSU, they even up the series, and they come back from behind and win this one.
You know, we talked about in the very beginning, adversity teaches you more about yourself than success. I think LSU walks away from this game and feels about themselves right now about a lot more than they did before it started. A huge comeback win right there. Now, game 3, do the Gamecocks respond?
LSU improves to 26-5 overall. South Carolina drops to 28-4. Join us in about an hour as game 3 of the series, as of now, is still on. That'll do it for us for now from Founders Park. For Stuart Lake and the rest of our crew, I'm Dave Weinstein saying so long from Columbia. LSU defeats South Carolina 8-7.